thank you, choir. Thank you. We're about to start with the proceedings. Thank you, choir. Thank you. We're starting with the proceedings now. We're going to start with the formal proceedings now. Thank you, choir. Thank you. You may take your seats. The choir, you may take your seats. Thank you.
I'll start now. One, two. The chairperson.
There will be a moment for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. Please take your seats. Order. Order. I have been informed, honorable members, that the Whippery has agreed that there will be no notices of motions or motions without notice. We now come to the address by the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, as reflected on our order paper. I therefore invite the Honorable, the Deputy President. Mr. Deputy President, sir.
Thank you. Me Mudula Stulo wa lefapha la council ya di province ba hlomphehi kaofela ba leng maloka a council ena ya di province batho ba heso kaofela ba South Africa le ba kopaneng mona ke ikutlwa ke hlomphiwile haholo hore ke fiwe monyetla ona wa ho tlo bua mona sebakeng sena. Mashome a mabedi a dilemo se fitileng re le batho ba South Africa re kopane kaofela rona re tswa dibakeng tse fapakaneng re ile ra etsa setlamo sa hore naha ena ya bo rona e tswelle pele ka tlase ha motheo o ileng ra o ngola. Motheo ona wa democracy re ile ra o bona e le motheo o tla kgonang hore o etse bophelo ba batho ba rona bo be botle. Molao ona wa motheo ehlile ke tokomane e phelang, ke tokomane e re reng ha re e sheba re fumana hore ke ona e ka ntlafatsang maphelo a batho ba haeso. Ehlile ke tokomane e ileng ya tla ka morao ha thata re lwanela tikoloho ya rona. Ho ile ha hlokahala batho ba bangata ba ile ba kena tjhankaneng, ba bang ba ile ba tswela ka ntle ha naha. E tlile ka bothata tokomane ena e re bitsang hore ke molaotheo wa naha ya boharong. Re tlameile hore molaotheo ona re dule re o tshwarela hodimo haholo, ka hobane bophelo ba rona re le batho ba South Africa bo laolwa ke molaotheo. From the terrible ruins of racial discrimination, from a history of ethnic division and a culture of gender oppression, we pledged in the Constitution to build a truly united, non-racial, non-sexist, and indeed a prosperous nation. We also pledge to use the capabilities of all our people and all the resources of our land for the benefit of the people on whose behalf all of us who are members of Parliament serve. United in our diversity, we have sought to build an open, accountable, democratic society that adheres to the rule of law while advancing social justice and expanding the frontiers of freedom. Ke ka tlase ha molaotheo ona mo re ileng ra fiwa monyetla wa ho aha lekgotla lena la diprovinsi, council ena ya diprovinsi. Molaotheo ona ke ona o ileng wa etsa hore lekgotla lena la diprovinsi le ngolwe molaong wa hore le tla emela e seng fela diprovinsi empa le tla emela ditoka tsa batho ba haeso. Molaotheo re ile ra re ha re o ngola ra re maloko a
Chairperson,
Palamente.
on a point of order.
Deputy President, please take a seat. What is your point of order, ma'am?
I would like to check if the Deputy President would gladly take my question.
Deputy President, are you willing to take a question?
No, I'm not willing to
He
take
is
a
not
question.
willing to take a question. Please take your seat. Proceed, sir.
Ke ntse ke le puong ya ka, nka ske ka nka dipuo ha ke beya puo ena. Dipotso ha ke beya puo ena.
On a point of order, Chair.
What is your point of order?
I assume we are in a formal sitting or a normal sitting of this House.
Deputy President,
Can
please
you
take
take
your
your
seat.
seat, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I assume we are in a normal sitting of the NCOP. And the rules allow us to ask a question. This is not a maiden speech by the Deputy President. He cannot say to us he can't take a question or he can't be interjected by anyone.
That's not a point of
According to the
order.
rules, if we want to ask him a question, he must take a question. Don't just.
Order. 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 That is not a valid point of order. Members, remember that we are on a formal sitting of the NCOP. And yes, the rules of the NCOP and the rules of debates apply. But it is not just about taking Parliament to the people. It is also an opportunity for the presidency to do their annual address to the NCOP. And it is in that context that we must allow the Deputy President to put and then to debate whatever it is he puts. Please proceed, Deputy President.
It is this democratic constitution that gave birth to the National Council of Provinces 2 decades ago. It determined that this Council of Provinces should give our people a meaningful say in the laws that would change their lives. It determined that the NCOP should reach out to communities with a view of understanding their needs and also to address their concerns. By taking Parliament to the people as we are doing now, the NCOP is giving effect to the constitutional responsibility that it bears. In living the values of our Constitution, we have built enduring institutions to deepen our freedom, to promote accountability, and to engender equality. Our 2 houses of Parliament, the National Assembly and the NCOP, are vibrant institutions representing and defending the views and interests of all South Africans. Inspired by our Constitution, we have crafted for ourselves a vision of an activist People's Parliament that takes seriously its responsibility to improve the quality of life of our people. By drawing our attention to the injustices of the past, the drafters of our Constitution were aware of how governments can go astray. To prevent the abuse of power and the betrayal of hope, the authors of our Constitution ensured that the human rights of each person must be guaranteed, their rights must be honored and protected. With our long history of exploitation and dehumanization, we adopted a constitution that enshrines every individual's rights to dignity, freedom, and equality. It is a constitution that guarantees vulnerable workers their right to fair labor practices and to form and join a trade union. We are among the few countries in the world that have entrenched rights such as access to water, food, health care, as well as social security. In producing the ultimate law, we are inspired by Nelson Mandela, who in his inauguration speech said, "Let there be justice for all, let there be peace for all, let there be work, bread, water, and salt for all." We have been hard at work to realize these rights. We have responded to our people's needs with regard to housing, electricity, water, healthcare, education, and indeed social security. We continue, as inspired by our Constitution, to advance the goal of quality universal health care through the implementation of the National Health Insurance. We continue to protect the right to education, to make sure that children of the poor and working class have a better chance than their parents to break the cycle of poverty and deprivation in their families. However, as the NCOP's visit to this area has confirmed, there is still much more that we need to do to meet people's needs and fulfill our shared constitutional obligation. Having come here as the NCOP, we can say that we have heard, for example, of the challenge in our health care system. We have also heard about infrastructure that is poorly maintained. We've also heard about staff shortages, of problems with the availability of medicine. The Constitution is our nation's instrument to improve the lives of our people. By recognizing the wrongs of the past, it places an obligation on all South Africans to achieve socio-economic transformation. The Constitution provides a framework to remedy the country's persistent challenge of underdevelopment. It enjoins all of us to work together to end the legacy of unemployment, inequality, poverty, as well as landlessness. We were reminded this week of the scale of the challenge with the release by Statistics South Africa of the latest poverty trends report. This report shows that more than half of South Africans live in poverty. We must be deeply concerned that children aged 17 and younger are disproportionately affected by poverty in our country. They are mainly African, female, and largely from our rural areas. While the report explores poverty in general, it also offers a guide on where we need to focus our efforts when we implement interventions and programs aimed at alleviating poverty. It makes clear a very stark truth that education must be at the center of our national fight against poverty. It shows that those South Africans with a little or no education make up an overwhelming majority of those living below the poverty line. The report highlights the importance of creating an environment that is conducive to teaching and learning, one that is free of violence and intimidation. While we are now in a better position than we were 10 years ago, when it was estimated that close on to 2/3 of our people were living below the poverty line, there is a danger that without decisive action, our progress may start to be reversed. Behind the poverty statistics are the individual stories of disillusioned young people who go to bed on an empty stomach. Ka morao ha tlaleo ena ya batho bao ba hlophehileng naheng ena ya bo rona, ho na le ditlaleo tse tshwenyang tsa batho ba batjha ba robalang ba sa ja. Ho na le ditlaleo tsa bomme ba hodisang bana empa ka lapeng ho na le tlala. There are stories of bright young people who have sought refuge in crime, drugs, and alcohol abuse. These are the stories. There are also stories of the elderly and the infirm who live wretched lives without access to health care or social support. These are the stories that must remind all of us, honorable members, that our task is enormous, our work is critical, and our freedom is far from complete. Where there is despair, it is our responsibility to give our people hope. We need to do so not with fine words or lofty promises. We need to give people hope through the work that we do in responding to their cries and improving their lives. Re le ditho tsa Palamente, mosebetsi wa rona ke ho etsa hore re ska fa batho tshepo ka mantswe fela. Re tlamehile hore re fe batho ba haeso tshepo ka diketso tsa rona ka ntho tse etswang ke mmuso wa rona. The people we represent expect more from us than political bickering and brinkmanship. They demand that we tell no lies. They also demand that we should not hide our faults. They demand that we should be honest. They also demand that we should be hardworking. They expect us to lead the fundamental transformation of our economy. They expect us to enact legislation and adopt budgets that will contribute to economic growth as well as social transformation. When we, as public representatives, scrutinize the programs and performance of government departments, we need to assess the impact they have on reducing poverty amongst our people. Policies that are not working need to be changed. Public representatives who don't serve the interests of the people should be removed. We have to act, starting now, to reaffirm their trust in the promise of freedom and democracy. We have to unite South Africans around a shared vision of a society that is fundamentally different, and everyone must make their contribution, and everyone must have a sense that they have a stake in the future of our country. To achieve a just society, South African children should grow up in schools knowing the values of their constitution. More than that, they should grow up experiencing the constitution as an instrument of development and an instrument of opportunity. We must not merely respect the constitution, we should be South Africans who live the constitution and are guided by its values. Only when we live it and invest in its values shall we realize the constitutional promise of a better life for all our people. This is the contract that we signed in 1994 when we ushered democracy in our country, and this is the contract that we should ensure that our country lives by. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy President.
Thank you very much. May I call on the chairperson of the council to address the House, Honorable Thandi Modise.
Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP. Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa. Premier Magashule, Premier of the Free State. Speakers of the Free State, the Speaker of the Eastern Cape, members of the provincial executives, members of the NCOP, members of the other provincial legislatures who have gracefully joined us, Mayor, councillors. We take this opportunity to thank you for the opportunity to speak, to meet, to deliberate, to go around the Free State inspecting institutions and facilities of health. The Constitution says that the NCOP is a platform for provincial interest at a national level. It says that the NCOP represents the provinces, and we must read that as saying that the NCOP represents the people who live in the provinces. It says that Parliament must ensure public participation to ensure a truly educated, participatory, democratic South Africa. Now, the Constitution read simply. It might mean to some of us that provinces have a third bite at putting members at a national parliament. Akiri, we put them through the province to province, province to national, and the national list, and into the NCOP. But if one really wants to read the Constitution deeply, it actually says that those members that come out of your provinces, honorable members, are the representatives, and therefore the NCOP is equal to the House of Representatives. In other words, our responsibilities are not just that of guarding party, political, or provincial interest. It is that of truly following up on the issues which are intergovernmental, because we are the only house also that represents all spheres and all arms. We therefore want to say that we take this responsibility as mediators of intergovernmental relations, as educators of the public to make sure that participatory democracy happens, as overseers on behalf of our people, very seriously. Taking Parliament to the people was started in 2002. So this is our 15th year. We then decided to begin to have a nuanced approach. And that is why last year when we went to the Eastern Cape, we focused on education, and that is why this year we focused on health. Because in our research we found that in the Free State, the issues of health needed attention. And you cannot therefore close your eyes as a public representative to the challenges that face the people on the ground. So we came and we went to Harib. I think Deputy President did get the report. He has spoken to the report. Issues of understaffing, issues of facilities, some of them facilities which started off as the old four-roomed houses which apartheid gave us, which were then converted into clinics, but which we, for some reason, forgot to upgrade or to equip properly. Issues of water in Harib were an issue which affected not only the health facilities but also the schools. Unemployment, 60% or 66%. The inability of people to pay for rates, and therefore for the municipality to pay for water, and therefore for the local government in Garib to be unable to deliver on the promise government has made to the ordinary people on basic water and electricity supply. The issues of young people were very sharply brought up. Finished matric, passed nicely, no job opportunities, no training opportunities, they are sitting there, crime takes over. Deputy President, we arrived on Sunday, we have been all over. We were warmly received, we must say. We have spent the whole week as the NCOP, not sitting in these benches, some of us sat here, but visiting all the sites, at the same time running the public hearings. The public hearings, which started on Monday through to yesterday, actually confirmed that the issues of Garib were also the issues of Bloemfontein, Tabansu, Botshabelo. We learned here about shortage of staff, which actually exacerbate bad attitude of the nurses towards the patients. We have heard of people queuing from 5 a.m. and leaving at 4, untreated, unseen. We have heard from people with disability the problems they encounter, especially the people who are deaf, who have nobody to interpret, who therefore get misdiagnosed, who are given wrong medication, and who sometimes simply get ignored. We do know that Parliament is ready, Deputy President, to accept and adopt sign language as the 12th language, official language of South Africa. Ikari, we can hurry up and do that, because the plight of deaf people in South Africa can no longer be stomached. We have also seen that too many people in this province use wheelchairs. We have heard from the people, especially Bako Rocklands, the roads are not well made. They are very rocky. Now, if you are on a wheelchair, it means the wheelchair breaks sooner. We have also heard that the hospitals and the clinics no longer have people who used to help repair the. And therefore, we want to say that, yes, we are very happy. We saw that starting with the Minister of Social Development, the MECs, we have been giving out wheelchairs, but they are not enough because some people need specialized wheelchairs. What we do need to do is look at ways which will create work whilst we better the lives of people. I do know that the Minister of Water and Sanitation says paving the roads actually interferes with their water tables and their water infrastructure. But we need to find a way of ensuring that Bokoko are better cared of. We have seen our grandmothers and our grandfathers in this hall, Deputy President, begging, tears flowing, rekopa thuso. And thuso ena e kopuwang ke batho ba bagolo relates to two things. One, those that we have given RDPs and they don't have the wherewithal to maintain and to fix, how do we help them? The others are those who inhabit houses since 1968, where the water is now seeping through the floors, damaging the walls, and they do not have the wherewithal to fix. So we need to start thinking very, very carefully about maintenance as South Africa. Maintenance of state institutions, maintenance of the houses and institutions that we are putting at the disposal of our people. Deputy President, we spoke about unemployment with the youth, the challenges that they face. We also heard of the public saying they need to get more attention as far as the banking sector is concerned. They want business opportunities, and we think that The NYDA, when it was here, it addressed some of the concerns, but we have encouraged them to come back and have sectoral engagement with young people and with business people. But we also know that the NYDA's problem is the legislation which we rushed through Parliament, which disables the provinces to have the interaction and to work with the NYDA as we used to do with Umsobomvu. So it would be good for Parliament to reconsider amendments to the NYDA legislation as quickly as possible to enable the structure to function. Deputy President, we have heard mothers crying about grandmothers who are looking after orphans. Orphans who sometimes do not have papers. We have heard of fathers who have abandoned children and refuse even to help facilitate them to get certificates so that they can access grants. We have heard about scholar transport, especially for young children who are still in lower primary schools who have to walk up to 12 kilos to school. We have heard about people who use government facilities to frustrate other citizens. We have heard complaints about the attitude of our staff. We want to say that we have also been interested in patient transportation since Harip. We are happy, Premier and Date Kompela, that contract is coming to an end. But we also want to say that maybe it is time, Deputy President, that where there are concurrent responsibilities between the national minister and the province, that we need to relook. Because sometimes, where there is concurrence in health, in education, things fall between the cracks because sometimes the legislature does not know whether to hold the MEC accountable. Parliament does not know whether to hold the minister accountable. So we need to come back and streamline these responsibilities so that we hold the person responsible. Where there is concurrence, we have noticed that there is a lot of things that fall between the cracks. We are, of course, encouraging the municipality to go back to taking serious note of the need for more RDPs to be built. We are encouraging that fraud RDPs must be stopped. We want to say that we have heard what the people are saying here. We have seen the tears, we have heard the appeals, but what is important is also we have heard from MMC, councillor, MECs, ministers. We have heard what they have said, the commitments they have made on this podium. We are taking it very seriously. We are going to follow up on all commitments. Members of the executive must never make commitments in front of the NCOP willy-nilly, because we will follow you up. We will hound you. You will deliver on those, especially if you have made them in the public. We will write to you every week until you deliver, because ours as the NCOP is not to curry favor. Ours is to protect the people we have been sent to the NCOP to represent. Therefore, in representing those people, we do not want to make friends, we do not want to make enemies. We want to represent our people as ably as we can. That brings us to the need for the responses to come back in time. Honorable Premier, through you, leader of government business, the ministers who have made commitments, because come 2018, we will come back, address Matswili Anahape, and we will tick every commitment, every complaint that we have received. We will say this was done, this was not done, why was this not done, how was this done? We ourselves will come back and say you have delivered, but we think what you have delivered, Kompela, is substandard, because it is not going to last. So, Rikopa ka 2018, We must begin to see changes. We are not very happy, Deputy President, about the state of the sewer and the seepage of sewer in the streets, in the households, in people's stands. Minister wa Sanitation has said that bagazatile. They have availed 2 honeysuckers for Bloemfontein. She then threw a poser to the province and said, you are supposed to maintain and ensure that those things work.
Can you summarize, Chair?
Thank you. So we want to encourage Bloemfontein, service the honeysuckers, make sure that there is no sewer that is sweeping throughout the streets and the households. Realebo.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. May I just advise members who are on the speakers list that at a particular time when you realize that the speaker is about to conclude, here's a chair that has been set aside for members to just sit here so that we avoid that commotion. Honorable Mikalakis.
Honourable Deputy Chairperson, in this debate where Parliament has come to the Free State, I can tell you hair-raising stories, Mr. Deputy President, of a province where people are suffering. I can tell you a story of a province where our young people cannot find work. The Free State, along with the Eastern Cape, share the spot with the highest unemployment rate in the country at 34.4%. I can tell you a story of a province which has been bought by the Gupta family, where 33 million rand was looted from the Free State fiscus to pay for the infamous Gupta wedding at the Lost City. I can tell you a story of a province where the MEC for Social Development has the nerve to blame the way young women dress for falling victim to sexual violence and abuse, and not the criminal scum who carry out that violence. I can tell you a story of a province where local municipalities are bankrupt, unable to pay the water boards and ESCOM, where projects are left incomplete due to incompetent and corrupt management, where mayors, MMs, CFOs get redeployed to other positions under the clouds of suspicion and corruption, whilst tens of thousands of people still don't have access to clean water, adequate sanitation, safe communities, or title deeds to the properties they live in. I can tell you a story of a province that was supposed to honor Winnie Mandela by converting a house in Brandfort into a museum. But the ANC made sure that even that money disappeared. This goes a long way to show how little respect the Magashule administration has for the Free State's heritage. I can, along with my colleagues from all parties in the NCOP, tell you...
Point of order. Thank you, Deputy Chair. I rise on a point of order here.
Yes,
members of the House should be appropriately addressed as honorable. The Speaker has just addressed the Premier of the Free State as Magashule without using honorable or Mr. And secondly, Chair, I'm not sure if the Speaker on the podium is relevant to the issues on the debate today. Because our focus is health.
Can I make a ruling on the point of order that you raised? Yes, that point is correct. Can we address each other with the greatest of respect by referring to each other as honorable members? I'm just making a ruling on that matter. Thank you very much. Can you continue with the debate?
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Chairperson. If the member listened, he would have heard I referred to the administration. I did not address him. I can, along with my colleagues from all parties in the NCOP, tell you a story of a province where people have died in state hospitals because of the shocking state of many of the medical facilities here. A testimony that the rot has come over many years under the selfish, arrogant, and poor leadership of Premier S. Magashule. I can tell you a story of a province that is economically stagnant, where the provincial government promised economic development and growth, yet for more than a decade this promise remained unfulfilled. I can tell you a story of a province where all these problems get blamed on the past rather than saying, yes, we need to address the injustice of the past. But these are the reasons why over the last 10 years, under the corrupt and poor governance of the ANC, your lives have not become better. Honourable Deputy Chairperson, but I will, when I tell you these horrific stories, only be a messenger of the people. This week, you and I, and all MPs gathered here, have had the opportunity to hear directly from the people of the misery they find themselves in. The ANC government can deny what the opposition says. They can call the free media fake news, but they cannot dispute what the people have said here over the last week. The stories of misery and suffering told here by ordinary Free Staters will fall on ANC deaf ears. We've heard you will be the message of Premier Magashule and every ANC member on this stage today. My message is that we, the DA, have told this government about every problem which you have raised this week, and they ignored us, just as they ignore the ordinary people of the Free State. Premier Magashule has listened for the last 8 years, and hundreds and thousands still do not have work, while many still do not have a title deed, and many more still not have the dignity that was promised to them with freedom in 1994. Deputy Chairperson, I do not think there has been a member with a clear conscience who has not been touched by the horrific stories we heard this week. I hear them every day as I work in my constituency in this province, and yet we expose the massive corruption of the ANC in this province day after day. How can you say you care about people when you steal from them? We have heard from the Deputy President how the national government of President Zuma, of which he is a part, will better your life. Has your life become better over the last 8 years under their leadership? No. In fact, life for ordinary South Africans, and especially Free Staters, have become worse. Deputy Chairperson, the topic of this debate relates to our Constitution. It relates directly to the freedom and the dignity of our people. When I went to study law, like you, Mr. Deputy President, here at the Free State University, where your friend Rolf Meyer was the SRC president, your work inspired us, and I gained even more respect for your contribution that you have made to the establishment of our Constitution. And then 2 weeks ago, I sat in the gallery of the National Assembly, and I watched how Deputy President Ramaphosa, one of the main architects of our Constitution, along with the late Dean Smuts, defended with his vote Mr. Jacob Zuma, who has defiled our Constitution. The Constitution is our best shield against a corrupt government. President Zuma, along with all his ANC cadres in government, has taken that shield away from you. And Mr. Ramaphosa, who was key in crafting that shield, did nothing to prevent it. In fact, the man who I admired as Mr. Ramaphosa, a pioneer of our Constitution, has sat in the very government that has been found by the public protector and the courts to have violated it. He has sat there quietly and comfortably as second in command and defended Mr. Jacob Zuma's actions against the state and the ordinary citizens of this country. Why? How could he have done that? Do not tell me it is politics, because when the people go hungry and our precious democracy, which is our only hope for a better life, is at stake and being torn apart, it's no longer a matter of politics. It's a matter of principle. Every ANC minister and every ANC MEC, every ANC mayor that you see here today form part of President Zuma's government. An ANC government that has sold your country to the Guptas while you remain jobless and destitute. The state of public health in the Free State is terrible, Chairperson, but the state of health of us as a country is 10 times worse. Only we as ordinary South Africans can fix it. But how? We do it by saying enough is enough. The ANC government of President Zuma has done nothing positive over the last 8 years that the people have given them. We deserve a better life, not only people who promise us a better life for all. We cannot eat promises. The truth, Chairperson, is that Deputy President Ramaphosa cannot save his legacy or that of the ANC. But together we can save our country. Now is the time for us, all of us, who want a better country, to stand together against the corrupt ANC government. Let us join hands as we move together towards the union buildings. Let us bring the change that is needed to restore the promise of freedom. Where the DA governs, we deliver for all. Let us together bring this good governance to the Free State and to every corner of South Africa. I thank you.
Thank you very much. May I therefore take the opportunity to call on Honorable Kasi.
Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Thandi Modise, the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Ramaphosa, the Premier of the Province of the Free State, Honorable Magashule, other honorable members, protocol observed. On behalf of the Eastern Cape Province, we appreciate the opportunity to be part of this important engagement. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is now 20 years since its commencement on the 4th of February, 1997. It is a guide to action. The Constitution calls upon us to heal the divisions of the past, establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights. We are called upon to improve the quality of life of all citizens and free the potential of each person and build a united and democratic South Africa. Guided by the Freedom Charter and the Constitution, we are rebuilding our country after 300 years of destruction. After many years of work, guided by the RDP, we had to agree on critical priorities in 2007 as the African National Congress. We said we want a learning nation, and we are hard at work to realize that. We said we want a healthy nation. We are hard at work to realize that. We said we wanted an economy that is growing and creating jobs. We are hard at work to realize that. We equally said we want a free crime society, also free of corruption. We are hard at work to realize that. Good progress has been made, but there are still challenges that require the attention of all of us. Rural and township communities, who constitute the majority of the people who are here, expect the delivery of quality basic services from us. The picture below reflects what is happening in the Eastern Cape, where I come from, and equally so, what might be happening in the Free State, where we are, based on the interactions that were happening here yesterday as from Monday. The delivery of water by the end of 2015-16 was at 85%, and by the end of the first quarter of 2017-2018 was at 88%. The delivery of sanitation by the end of 2015-16 was at 77%, and by the end of the first quarter of 2017-2018 was at 79%. The delivery of electricity by the end of 2015-16 was at 81%, and by the end was at 81%. We are soon going to realize universal access to these basic services that I've mentioned. We are building quality schools, we are building hospitals and clinics, and all I'm saying should apply to all the provinces that I'm talking about.
On a point of order, Chair.
Honorable Person, can you take a seat? Can I hear the point of order?
Chair, the speaker there is misleading South Africa. There's no government in Eastern Cape. There's nothing. There's nothing in Eastern Cape.
Honorable member.
Stop misleading South Africa.
Honorable member, your point of order is not carried. Can you continue with the debate, honorable member?
Indeed, South Africa is a construction site. The issues that I've been raising here are what is happening. And I'm sure the people here are our witnesses. There seems to be convergence between what the people want and what the ANC has prioritized. The community members are all here in their numbers to demand action from the ANC. Our coming here.
Can you take a seat? Can you take a seat? On what point are you raising, honorable member?
Again, I'm saying the speaker is misleading South Africa. Puso erileng mo yone is a multi-party government. When it suits ANC, when things are good, they are saying it's their government. This is the multi-party government. It's not true that these people here are requesting action from African national criminals. They are requesting assistance from government.
Can you take your seat? Honorable members, I think we need to make this one very clear. There is a point of order and a point of debate. You cannot engage with the speaker when the speaker is on the platform. If you want to raise an issue as a point of order, you need to identify what is your point of order, because what the member did now was to engage with the member, and therefore I ruled that out of order.
On a point of order, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Connie.
Ke kopa hore o re tlhalosetse gore a wa re ha se bui mo podiumeng se misleader South Africa re ska ra emela ka maoto ka gore ntate fale ha esale a simolola
Can I respond to your
debate
question?
ya gagwe a misleader South Africa o mo
Honorable
podiumeng. No, allow me to finish.
No, you are
Allow me.
debating.
I am not.
Honorable Connie.
No, I'm addressing you, Chairperson.
Can you take your seat?
No, Chair. Allow me
take
to
a seat.
finish, then you will address me.
Honorable Connie, can you
No,
take your seat?
you cannot conclude on my behalf.
Honorable Connie.
Now, what you are doing now is concluding my point of order on my behalf.
Honorable Connie.
I asked to stand on a point of order, you recognized me.
Honorable
Now you
Connie.
want to speak on my behalf.
Honorable Connie, can you take a seat? Honorable members, I am not going to allow any member who wants to engage with a member at the podium. I had said if you've got a point of order, your point of order must be clear. Can you continue, Honorable Class?
But Chair, in terms of the rules, in terms of this rule, Chair,
Honorable, can you take a seat, Honorable?
Chair, in terms of these rules, it is allowed for a member to call a member on a podium into order. Ke melao e le re beetseng gore re phele ka yona.
All right,
Mo
fine.
ntlong.
Thank you
Now,
very much.
Chair, allow me. Allow me. Don't.
let me
Santsane
explain.
Mogano, no,
No,
Chair.
let me explain something
No,
to you.
Chair.
No, take a
Allow
seat.
me to speak and finish my point of order.
No.
You know, I missed
no,
you
take-
when you were not in
No,
the house.
no, take-
But what
take
you are
your
doing,
seat.
allow me to
No,
speak.
take your seat.
No, but I'm still speaking,
Take your seat.
Chair.
Can I address you? Can I address you, Honorable Mukweli? No. I wish to address Honorable Mukweli. There is nothing wrong, and I agree with you. The rules does make a provision for a member to call a member to order, okay? But you do that through the chair. And the chair will then make a ruling whether if your order is a standing order or not. And in this instance, what you have done, you have engaged with the member standing on a podium, debating. That is why I ruled it out of order and allowed the member to proceed. Can you proceed, Honorable Class?
But Chair, can you allow me with due respect?
Honorable Member, I'm not
Point of order, Chairperson.
I'm not going to debate with you.
I know, Chair.
Can you take a
With
seat,
due-
therefore?
Can you allow me with due respect, Chair?
Can you take
May
a seat?
I address you
No, no,
with
no.
due respect?
There's a point of order that has been raised there. May I recognize
But
that point of order?
Can
No,
you,
you are
can you
engaging.
then recognize me after that point of order? I'm
Can I-
requesting with due respect, Chair.
Can I recognize that point of
Can
order?
you also recognize me, Chair?
Honorable,
After that
Honorable
point,
Mokwele,
I'm
can you take a
requesting.
seat?
Can you?
Just take a seat. Members, order, 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 order. Members, Sechaba, order. Sechaba, Ardidimaleng. Ardidimaleng, Sechaba. And ke le tlhalosetse fela gore ntlo ya ka go dutse yana yanong ke an official sitting ya National Council of Provinces. Ga la tshwanela go participate a ke re lile na la le tšhono during the week. So ke baemedi ba nyena ba ba ngangisanang. So ba tlogeleng ba ngangisane. Can I take the point of order, Honorable Gaila?
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Chairperson, are members of the public supposed to take part in this debate because they are drowning us, especially from this side here? Thank you.
I think I've just addressed that. I've just addressed that. Honorable Kaso, can you continue with the debate?
Chairperson, this honorable member here is shouting at me. Yes, she's sitting here.
If it is true, no. Let me address the issue. Can I address the issue? If Elenete, gore le shoutana le di members, ke kopa gore batho ba setšhaba le ska dira nyalo. Ke a le kopa, please. Allow members to participate in the debate. Honorable Klaus.
The community members, I repeat, are all here in their numbers to demand action from the ANC government. After coming here from all corners of the Republic of South Africa, this is an indication by all of us to say we take the views of the members of the public who are here seriously. Action will have to be taken by all those who are deployed in government by the ANC without fail. We take the oversight function of the NCOP and various legislatures seriously. Unlike the official opposition, the DA, who from the Western Cape decided not to participate in this debate. Also from the Eastern Cape, the special delegate of the DA is not here, and we don't know the reason. By implication, they are not taking people seriously. I have heard my colleague here who was speaking before me. I assume he has no mandate from his political party because he's not here. He also comes from the Free State. I also am convinced he has no mandate from the Free State to speak in this podium, as he has done. We are, as the different provinces, we are taking seriously what was presented here by the national chairperson of the NCOP. Remedial action will have to be produced and a response to the oversight visits, as well as issues that were raised by communities in the last 4 days. Our provinces adopted service delivery models. In the context of the Eastern Cape, we have Masipatisane, and in the context of the Free State, we have Operation Hlasela. The intention is to respond to issues that gets raised by communities in a coordinated and integrated fashion. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, MEC Kaso. May I therefore call on the Premier of the Free State, Honorable Ace Mahashul. Honorable Premier, just hold it.
On a point of order, Chairperson.
What is the point of order?
I would suggest that the rented mobs be removed out of this house.
Just take a seat. Just take a seat.
Okay.
Bahaid, kilikupili. Katwe. Rarata, cheka Council of Provinces. Hore little go retsa gore ba eteledi pele ba nyena ba reng. Ke eng se ileng gore ba go se dira for lona. Yaanong ha le ba drowner. Go eka enna ka re yaanong le nyena le ba emedi le mo gare ga bone. Skala dirang yalo.
Thank you. I was still on my point of order, Chair. Seeing that we've got our protection services here from Parliament, I think they need to deal with people behaving like the rented mobs. So they must be removed from this house.
May I not recognize that point of order? Can you continue, Honorable?
Kialeboha, Ereki Sahlombo Mutlotehi, Metandi Mudise, Ki Sahlombo, Deputy President Ntate Ramaphosa, our presiding officers, members of the executive councils, Otwadi province Nzeding, di totsohle tsa NCOP, Bahlumpei, Setjhaba sa Freistata, haholoholo sa Mangaung. Ke thabela nka motsotso ona lo ananela hore re thabetse ha NCOP e tlile mona, Deputy President, through you, presiding officer. Obane ba ikutlwetse mekgatlo yohle ya dipolotiki e a tseba ditabatabelo tsa batho ba Freistata, batho ba mona Botshabelo, Thabantsho le Bloemfontein le dibaka tse tshwanang le bo Diversdorp ba re hopotsa mo re tswang teng re le batho ba batsho, ba re hopotsa hore nakong ya apartheid motho e motsho ona sa tshwane le lekgowa. Mme ke fela ka mora 1994 ha mmuso o eteletsweng pele ke ANC o nka matla wa etsa bonnete ba hore batho ba batsho le makgowa ba treatiwa ka nako e tshwanang. Ka hona ka jeno lena ba re hopotsa hore ditleliniking tsa rona nakong ya apartheid motho e motsho o na sa share hospitala bethe ya ne le bethe tsa makgowa fela, Basotho ba ne ba belwa kwa makgowa kwa ya ba re nka mmuso mme re ahile tse ngata ditleliniki mona provinceng mme batho ba fumana le meriana. Ke ka ho Deputy President e felang obane nakong ya hona jwale ya democracy batho ba rona ba fumana meriana mahala. Ntwena ne sa etsahale kae kapa kae mme batho ba Botshabelo mona le Thabantsho ba re hopotsa hore pele ho 1994 ho nona le di-homelands. Di-homeland tsena ke mo batho ba batsho ba ne ba beilwe teng, wa bona le mo ba dulang teng hore ho ntsona le bofumana le tlala o hlokana mesebetsi. Batho ba rona ba basweu ba e ananela banka naha le maruo a ruileng, banka di mine ba sebedisa bonkgono le bontate moholo ba re lahlela kwana Maxhosa le Basotho le Batswana ba re arola. Mme ra nka mmuso ra etsa bonnete ba hore re na le a non-racial South Africa ka jeno lena bonnete ba taba mona South Africa hoba magwala re tletleba ka nako e telele ba ntse le bona ba nang le ho una molemo hobane mo ba dulang teng ka baka la ditjhelete tsa rona tsa kgale ba ntse ba na le di-flush toilets. Rona ha re na tsona makweisheneng a rona. Ntwena ha ya etsala fela.
ntwana ya tsala fela ya hore ho be le hlako ya mesebetsi hobane batho ba batsho Dr. Verwoerd ya bitswang doctor ka jenule o la re ba batla re ska ra ba hopotsa ka apartheid o la re batho ba batsho ba ska ba rutwa maths le science ke ka ho re senang dingaka tsa batho ba batsho tse ngata mona South Africa ke batla hopotsa honorable wa DA hore le ka jenule na DA members in le jwa le bitswa Welcome ba batsho they are marching against DA white members. Hona jwale tjena ha ke bua. Hobane DA e sebedisa batho ba batsho. Ha e fetsa ba sebedisa. Ke nna kwa rona batho ba batsho le bona mekgatlo e tshwanang le bu EFF re kopaneng re bona hore re sebetseng hantle ho ya pele. Ke a tseba re ntse re buisana le yona EFF le dumetse EFF mona provinseng ya rona hore e tlo sebetsa le ANC.
We are not associating.
On what point are you rising? Okay, fine. Can I hear the point?
SEFF on record. We are not associating ourselves with the ANC led by Ace Mahashule. It won't be correct.
No, honorable member.
It can't be.
No, that's not a point of order. That's not a point of order. I don't recognize that point. Honorable Premier, can you continue?
Ke a leboha obane khaitsedi ya ka ke la ka kopana le yena besimane le ba EFF mona Freistata re sebetsa mmoho ane re tswelleng pele re sebetse mmoho.
On a point of order, Chair, on a point of order.
Yes, can I hear the point of order?
Order,
Order, honorable members.
Chair.
No, I want to hear you. Order, members.
I meant what the Premier is saying is not true about me. I met with him, Mose Fufani, Kitswa Mo Bloemfontein, Kitswa Ko Lady Brandt, Kim Molela Hore, Kitswa Ko Panalene, Kabu Firifiri,
Honorable Mpumalanga. Honorable Mpumalanga.
That is not honorable order. We have never met anywhere.
Honorable Mpumalanga. Honorable Mpumalanga.
He must withdraw.
That's a political. No, that's a political statement. No. No. Honorable Mpumalanga
must withdraw.
Honorable
I
Mpumalanga.
met him and I told him.
Honorable Mpumalanga, can I address you?
Hey, that's not the point of order,
Can I address you?
I know you do.
What happened? Whether you met at a plane.
And I told you that you are going to do it.
Hey, be disciplined,
Honorable Mpumalanga, may I address the House? May I address the House? Honorable members, don't make my life difficult. I was not there. I don't know who's telling the truth.
Timbi was there. Honorable Timbi was there.
No.
He can
Hey, you are lying.
That's not a point of order. Honorable Khashule, can you continue the debate?
Ke a leboha khaitsedi ya ka ke tla withdraw he khaitsedi ya ka hore re tswalle
I
fela
told you
pele
that you are going to do that. I told you. Very good in manipulating.
ke batla ho tshepisa hore ditletlebo tsohle
Can we allow the Premier to continue the
presiding
debate?
officer
Can we allow the Premier to continue the debate, please?
ke kopa hore ke hopotsa setjhaba sa Freistata le South Africa ore pele 1994 re ne re sa bolellwe ka hore ditjhelete di sebeditse jwang pele 1994 ho no sena auditor general pele 1994 Basotho bana ba phela kwa magwa phela kwa ka mora 1994 batho bana ba basweu ya ba otla nthwena ya hore motho e motsho a lekane le bona ka jenule bonkgono ba ne ba sa fumane di pension tse lekanang le tsa magwa pelo 1994 ke batla ho botsa batho ba rona hore mona Freistata Deputy President through you presiding officer re na le bana ba ileng hore ba 202 ba re ba isitseng Cuba hona jwale tjena ba teng mona Freistata beke tse pedi tse tlang selemo se tlang ka July ba qetela dithuto tsa bona tsa bongaka kwana Cuba ba tla khutla ba tlo sebetsa di-hospitala le di-clinic tsa rona mona ba 114 ba ile Russia ba lo ithutela bongaka ba more than 500 ba batsho le ba basweu ba ithutetse bongaka di-university tsa rona mona South Africa mme ke tshware le raporoto e bontshang hore ha e sa le DA illa ka ho hloka ha di-clinic ho hlokahala di-doctor ho hlokahala ha di-nurse ke tshware raporoto e bontshang hore from 2015 re hirile di-doctor tse kae re hirile di-nurse tse kae re hirile di-medical technologists tse kae raporoto ke ena selemo sa 2016 fela presiding officer re hirile batho ba ka bang 1001 ya di-doctor ya di-nurse ya di-medical technologist hobane batho ba lile ka hore re hira fela batho ba ditleke jwalo jwalo wala re batle ditlaraka re se re na le batho ba batsho mme naheng ya South Africa hona jwale tjena batho ba batsho ba se ba ruteile haholo ebile ba feta le makgowa ke yona ntho e utlwisang batho ba basweu bohloko nka dumedisa le ho bolella setjhaba sa mona hore re itse lekwalong la rona la Freedom Charter ka 1955 batho ba tla busa ke ka hao NCOP le nteng mona e tlo mamela batho hobane batho ba nka karolo maphelong a bona ka jeno lena batho ba kgona ho tletleba ka mmuso ba sa natse hore ba bua hampe ka premier kapa ka president yona tabeno ke yona re lwanetseng mme ke batla ho tshepisa batho ba Freistata re di fumane le di-CV tsa di-nurse mona tse ka bang 30 mme listing ya rona re na le di-nurse tse 281 mona provinceng tse leng hore they are still unemployed re tshepisa NCOP hore ha ba kgutlela mona ka October re dumellane hore re tlo bolaya diposo tse ding mafapheng a mang re kgone ho hira bana ba e leng hore re fumane di-CV tsa bona bohle ba re fumaneng di-CV tsa bona mona ke ra kgwedi ya October e fela bana ba Botshabelo le Thabanchu le ba bane Kwakwa re tla futlana re fumane reporto ya hore Methandi Modise ke re kopa hore tsohle tse re di tshepisitseng batho tsohle tse etsahala mmusong wa ANC re buella naha ka bophara re tla di phethahatsa ke nna wa pele ya dumelang hore ha re sa di phethahatse jwale ka tonakgolo ka nnete nka mpa ka re lebitsong la ho hlompha setjhaba e re ke ya fatshe ke resign mona provinceng yana ke batla ke qetela ke re ke etse mohlala mane Cornelia Deputy President through you presiding officer ho bontsha hore ha se ntho e re ka e hlolang rona re le bang ha o ya mane tulong e bitswang Cornelia Ntshwanatsatsi ho dula batho ba 11,000 in that 11,000 ho na le makgowa a 50 mo makgoweng a 50 46 of them ba fumana social grant ke ba bane fela ba kgonang hore ba ke borapolasi ho na le diterata tse 108 diterateng tseno tse 108 ho na le dikoloi tse 60 ho na le matitjhere a 54 a 50 a tswa ka ntle.
Honorable Premier, let me recognize that point of order. Or is it a point of order in any case?
Yes.
Okay. Can I recognize it?
Premier ore Cornelia batho ba teng ba phela ha monate. Ke tswa moo
Protection. It's a more. Office ya ANC fats as I'm speaking to you. It is
Honorable member, that was not a point of order. Can you continue, Honorable Premier?
Agare batho ba Cornelia. Ki itse batho ba Cornelia nakong ya apartheid bana ba sa sebetse kaofela. Mehau ya Cornelia ka jenulena nka o hlalosetsa hore ntlo e le nngwe kapa efe ditrateng tse 108 re ntse sure hore mo e leng hore le khegwa le fumane grant mo e leng hore ha ona motho ya sebetsang the whole community hona le batho ba CWP ha re kenya batho mesebetsi re ile mo ra re mona ona motho a le mong a sebetsang ha kene mosebetsi EPWP batho ba no ra ba bulela di account le ABSA.
On a point of order.
Honorable Premier, can I just recognize the point of order? Yes, Honorable.
You know, Chair, we know all these stories that Honorable Ace is talking about. Some of us, we were in Mpumalanga municipality. We were in Mpumalanga, the workers.
That's point of debate.
Municipality.
Honorable member, what is the point of order?
Workers in Mpumalanga have agreed the salary tsa bone. If bakira the salary, bakira half of the salary because that municipality I run with Pila.
Honorable
member,
that is not
so he cannot come here and tell us about apartheid history.
That is not a point of order. Honorable Mokwele.
We know it.
Honorable Mokwele. Honorable Mokwele, can you take your seat, please? That was not a point of order. Honorable. Okay, fine. Honorable Premier, can you continue?
On a point of order, Chairperson.
Yes, Honorable Kone.
Ke kopa gore o kgaleme ka di mic tse di tsewang rofo batho ba itatlela mo di mic-ing ba goa kaka ka gore ke ma ANC ga o bui sepe ke kopa gore o itlhokomele kganyeng.
Honorable, just before Honorable Premier, I did hear that mic, and I don't know where it came from. If that is one of our mics, the official mics, members of the public, please don't do that. Don't do that. Can you continue, Honorable Premier?
That's why in that town, honorable members, in that town called Cornelia, only 7 people voted EFF, 7.
We are building an organization for
Honorable
us
Mokwele.
that 7
Honorable Mokwele.
And those 7 people who voted EFF are members of the ANC today.
On a point of order, Chairperson.
We applaud that 7.
On a point of order. On a point of order.
No. Honorable members. No. Just take your seat. Let me address you.
Are you going to allow me after that?
Let me address the House first.
Please note
I will recognize your point. Honorable members, I am now going to address the House on a very serious matter. You are allowed as a member to heckle. You are allowed as a member to raise a point of order. But once now you become disruptive and interfere with a speaker deliberately so, then you are deliberately out of order. Can we please avoid doing that? Because now it would mean, therefore, we will have to deal with that matter. We will have to deal with that matter. Yes, can I hear your point of order, Honorable Member?
No, because since you posted a threat, let me reserve my point of order. I will raise it after I debate because I don't want to go out of the House.
Okay, can you continue, Honorable Member?
Ke batla hore batho bohle ba Freistata le South Africa haholo ke buella di province tse tshwanang le bo Eastern Cape, bo Northern Cape, bo Mpumalanga, bo Limpopo, ore di province tsena di santse di futsanehile me bofutsana bona ha bo atliswa ke rona re etsollosa se apartheid se entseng bathong ba rona ba batsho. Re batla ho bolella batho ba rona ba batsho le ba basweu hore re tla sebetsa ka thata le ne le tletlebe le ntsha ditletlebo tsa lona hobane mona provinceng ha hona dintwa. Batho ba kgona ho bua maikutlo a bona mme re le mmuso re a mamela. Ke ka hoo re thabelang hore NCOP le mekgatlo kaofela le ha re di fara ka mmono re amohela tshebedisano mmoho mme re batla hore batho ba rona we will make sure
Honorable
that
Premier,
we deliver
can I just
our commitments.
Can I recognize the honourable member on what point are you raising, honourable member?
Point of order, Chairperson. I believe the time of the Premier has long been expired. He's saying nothing anyway.
Honourable member, no, that was not a point of order in any case. Honourable member, I've got a clock here, just to satisfy you. I've got a clock here. The table staff is assisting me. As soon as you interject like you are interjecting, then that clock is stopped. That clock gets stopped. Please do not want to preside by default. Do not want to preside by default. Honourable Premier, can you continue?
Honorable Chair.
Se ke lebohile mme ke batla ho tlhalosetsa setho se hlomphehang hore mohlang o batlang ho ba presiding officer o tle
Sit down, Ace, sit down.
Thank you very much.
I actually wanted to address Ace, but unfortunately he's gone.
No, I think we are now just being deliberately disruptive. I mean, we agreed earlier on that we must be respectful to each other, with each other. And the member now address even Honorable Mahashule, not even as Premier, but even as Ace, Lina La Strat, La Ball. Honorable members, let us not do that.
On a point of order, Chair, I withdraw.
Thank you very
Honorable
much.
Ace.
Honorable Mashatile, can you continue with the debate?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. The Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Honorable Thandi Modise, Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, Honorable Premier Ace Mahashule, members of the Executive Council, delegates of the NCOP, representatives of local government, fellow South Africans. Setjhaba sa Freistata ke a le dumedisa. Ke utlwa ke thabile haholo ho ba le lona kajeno tulong ena ya Botshabelo. Honorable Chairperson, it gives me great pleasure on behalf of the Premier of Gauteng, David Makhura, to take part in this debate under the theme celebrating 20 years of the Constitution and the NCOP, deepening parliamentary oversight for quality services to our people. Let me begin by indicating that one of the key defining features of the ANC-led 5th provincial administration in Gauteng is that we are an activist government, a government that engages with all sectors of society on a continuous and sustainable basis. We are a government that listens, that is responsive, and a government that works in partnership with stakeholders towards a common goal of transforming, modernizing, and reindustrializing Gauteng in line with the National Development Plan Vision 2030. This posture of our government has found expression in our Nteresano outreach program and service delivery war room. Through Nteresano, we continually engage communities and all sectors of society with a view to working with them towards resolving their problems. Ka mantswe a mang, nteresano e ra gore tshebedisano. Re sebetsa le setšhaba, we go to communities, we look at projects that government is implementing, we engage with them so that they become partners in development. That is how Interesano program works. Just yesterday, Chairperson, as part of our Interesano program, we once again visited communities of Mogale City in the West Rand to engage with them, to look at what government is doing there and assist to improve services. Re a leboga EFF ka gore le ile la vouta le rona gore budget ya Mogale e tswele pele. Thank you very much. I must report that the work is going very well. Thank you very much to the EFF. Chairperson, we also did this as part of assuring communities in the West Rand that as government we are determined to build, amongst others, an inclusive economy where no one is left out. Gone are the days when some parts of our province will be treated as the Cinderellas of development, as we are serious about economic inclusion. Honorable members, Interesano is about partnership in development. It is about improving accountability, oversight, and responsiveness. It is about ensuring that our interventions deliver the desired result of improving the quality of lives of citizens. I want to commend members of the NCOP for having taken time to take Parliament to the people as you are doing here in the Free State. Continue to do that, because as we engage with the people, we are able to improve their lives by changing the way government works, by improving facilities and therefore service delivery. Since 2014, Deputy President, as Gauteng, we have visited more than 100 communities, which is very important because that's how we can continue to improve the quality of lives of our people. Honorable members, ultimately through programs like Interesano, we are mobilizing all stakeholders in the implementation of our program for radical transformation, modernization and reindustrialization towards the goal of building Gauteng City region that is socially and economically inclusive, a leading economy in the African continent, and the cutting edge in the fourth industrial revolution, and an active, empowered citizenry. Honorable members, we are of the view that our bold program for transformation, modernization and reindustrialization is the most direct and effective route towards building the kind of South African society envisaged in our Constitution. A society where divisions of the past are healed, where government is based on the will of the people, where there is improved quality of life, and a society where the potential of each person is freed. However, despite the many challenges we still face, our midterm review report, which we published in May this year, provides irrefutable evidence of the significant progress we are making in transforming, modernizing, and reindustrializing the Gauteng City region. Chairperson, one of the challenges we face, like many other provinces, is the state of the economy. Just in the last quarter of 2017, Gauteng lost about 146,000 jobs. And part of our response to this problem is that we have identified infrastructure as a key counter-cyclical intervention through which we can reignite the economy create jobs, and advance transformation and empowerment. Re a itse hore batho ba bangata in our communities ba na le bothata ba go fumana mesebetsi. Ke ka moo re reng re le mmuso re ikemiseditse haholo gore batho ba fumane mesebetsi. And this we will do, Chairperson, through infrastructure development as a critical intervention to ensure that we can build an active, healthy, safe, and skilled citizenry. In this regard, last month only, we convened a highly successful two-day second biennial Gauteng Infrastructure Investment Conference, which was attended by more than 1,000 delegates from the continent and throughout the world. It is through initiatives like this that we believe that we will be able to reignite the economy, to be able to ensure that there is more investment in the economy, and to be able to ensure that we can create jobs for our people. Chairperson, according to a study by KPMG conducted in 2016, our infrastructure investments has contributed 92,000 direct jobs in the Gauteng economy, 15 billion rand to support household income, and on average, for every 1 rand spent on infrastructure, we have been able to add an additional 92 cents in the economy, increase government revenue by 6 billion rand, and generated additional economic activity worth 26 billion rand into the provincial economy. Honorable members, it is quite clear that despite the challenges that we face, there is improved conditions in many of our communities. We have improved in the delivery of water, we have improved in the delivery of electricity, we have ensured that more of our people live in communities. They are much, much better than the previous years. Honorable members, as part of accelerating social development, we are amongst others intervening decisively in addressing the problem within our public health system. I know that the NCOP has been looking at the issue of health.
Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, honorable members, and good work by NCOP. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Koni.
Ke a leboga modulasetilo ke tsa tšhono e ke dumedisa balwantwa the economic freedom fighters voters and supporters. Chairperson, the economic freedom fighters is very disappointed, but anyway at the same time we found things that we expected to find in the province of Mr. Magashule. We maintain our position that the ANC-led government in the Free State is celebrating incompetence and mediocrity. Public funds are mismanaged with impunity, and no one is taking responsibility for this looting. The whole Premier, Mr. Magashule, is either ignoring this or he is unable to implement consequences management or accountability because he is corrupt to the core, just like Duduzane's father. Mr. Magashule and Duduzane's father are like this.
Honorable Koni.
Public
Honorable
servants.
Koni, please take your seat. Honorable.
Chairperson,
Order! Order! Modi Mumo, litlile letla mamela hale atla ho nka karolo. Please.
Chairperson, I rise on a point of order. The honourable member is very derogatory in her address. One, she casts aspersions on a member by saying he's corrupt without a substantive proof here.
Honorable Koni, the Honorable Ace Magashule is covered by the rules of the NCOP. When he is here, he is treated as a full member of the NCOP. You cannot cast aspersions without a proper report. So I would suggest that you withdraw.
I do agree, Chairperson, but what is it that
No,
I must exactly withdraw?
unconditional.
No, you must just quote me the line of the derogatory.
You have referred to Premier Magashule as corrupt.
Oh, I withdraw.
Thank you.
Unconditionally. Public servants are instructed to leave these tasks in offices and attend public relations campaigns that is led by the Office of the Premier, which has serious financial implications. All those employees have to claim for the unnecessary trips undertaken, and that is looting and corruption at its best. The EFF maintains that there is no need for a massive contingent of public servants to attend this political program, because even when they arrive at the place where this program is held, they do not have specific roles to play. Instead, they become part of the audience to be addressed by the Premier, Mr. Ace Magashule. Mr. Ace Magashule, umubudidi njwa dikakanyo. Kajalo ke ra gore he's suffering from poverty of ideas. Because of these ill-conceived programs, allocated funds for transport purposes from different departments are depleted before the targeted period, and alignment of budget with annual performance plans also get disrupted. All this contribute towards qualified audit outcomes by the Auditor General. In this province, there is no consequence management for irregular, wasteful, fruitless and unauthorized expenditure. Not even a single department mentioned in their annual performance plans early this year. Steps that have been taken against those who have violated the change processes. Why? Themselves and Duduzani's father and Honorable Ace are like this. The Department of Health, Social Development and Local Government housing in the province are a mess and maker of incompetence and inefficiency. Corrupt and poor governance are the order of the day in this province. Mr. Magashule can attest to that. Almost all municipalities and some provincial departments in this province received adverse findings from the Auditor General, disclaimers, qualified audit opinion with matters of emphasis and non-submission of financial statements are some of the findings by the Auditor General against municipalities and some provincial departments in this province. Be that as it may, the MEC of Health, Social Development, and of local government are still in the provincial government despite this high level of incompetence. They failed to turn around the situation in many municipalities, health and social development in this province. Like on Tuesday, the MEC of Social Development said, "Khale ya toilet, ka Setswana ba re khale ya go rota, le ska la flasha. Le flashe only khale dira number 2. Ka wa ke ga ra ha le kaka." MEC wa Social Development ga preach hygiene, and worst of it all, she's a woman. How can a woman go to a toilet, flashiwang, a rote, as a flash? Are go dira yalo ke go save metsi, mare what about hygiene? What about the infections in those toilets? A whole woman who's an MEC saying all those nonsense. The Premier's legacy of operational Tlhasela is all devoid of a positive correlation between the intended objectives and actual plans. Despite the noise in the last quarter of 2016, unemployment expanded by 4.2% in this province. The Free State province was ahead of all other provinces in terms of expansion of unemployment. Currently, it is still a major contributor to the 9 million South Africans who are struggling to find gainful employment. Money is being misused to develop and consolidate the Premier's personality cult. The face of the Premier is all over the place in the government buildings. The people of this province should know that when dictatorship rears its ugly head, it will not beat drums to announce its arrival. The same MEC of Social Development said, "Basadi ba tlogela go apara dilo tse di khutsane ka gore ke bone ba bitsang rape." A whole Social Development MEC, a woman, and especially in a women's month, that woman does not have a heart. I don't know what I would regard her as, but she must be ashamed of herself. On a women's month, a social development woman who should at least be distributing sanitary towels, who should at least be distributing wheelchairs, goes out and say, women must not wear short things. We must wear everything that we want, everything that we feel comfortable in. It does not matter where and when. We must be able to be free in this South Africa. So she's saying we are citing rape, a whole social development, MEC. She must be ashamed.
Mekoni, usalisi ki 2 seconds. Ifedile nako. Ke a leboga.
Our prepare.
The Honorable Zikalala.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable Thandi Mdise, the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, the Premier of Free State, Honorable Mahashule, members of the NCOP, the representatives of provinces, fellow South Africans, we join our compatriots as we observe yet another seminal moment in the evolution of our hard-won democratic dispensation, mainly the 20 years of our Constitution and the 20 years of the establishment of the NCOP. It is often said that those who make history seldomly appreciate that their actions will leave an indelible mark in their societies at the time when they make such history. History is often made by ordinary people who, because of their own experiences and the dictate of the circumstances, are driven to perform extraordinary feats. The story of South Africa's break with her colonial and apartheid past, it is a story of ordinary people who dare dream of a better future and a better world. It is a story of ordinary people who dedicated and decided to engage in the struggle to build a new democratic and prosperous society. It is a story of how people who suffered from much injustices at the hands of their own fellow countrymen had worked together with their former adversaries to create one human's greatest achievement, a society that is premised on human dignity, justice, and equality. Chairperson, one of the least quoted but most important passages in our Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is its explanatory memorandum. An excerpt from this memorandum states as follows, and I quote, "This Constitution therefore represents the collective wisdom of South African people and has been arrived at by the general agreement," close quote. The importance of this excerpt stems from the fact that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, adopted as it was in 1996, a mere 2 years after the democratic breakthrough, was a tangible product of South Africa that had been decided to carve a new future for herself.
Just give me a second. Batho beso, ho na le lerata. Ntho ena ke parliament. Ha o hloka o ilo qoqa ka montle, tswa o thotse o ilo qoqela ka montle. Ha o le ka mo hare ka mona, re batla utlwa batho ba ba mo podiumong. Ke a kopa hle, batho beso. Please continue, sir.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson. Our Constitution has its roots in the struggle for liberation. Its thrust is derived from the ANC's policies, in particular, the 1943 African Claim, the 1955 Freedom Charter, and later, the ANC's pre-1994 policy framework, the Ready to Govern. The Ready to Govern In the Ready to Govern document, the ANC argues, and I quote, "Our task now is to rally all South African patriots around the principle for which we have always stood for, mainly of equality, mutual respect, dignity, and promotion of basic human rights. After so many decades of freedom and sacrifice, we must achieve a constitution that guarantees that oppression, discrimination, inequality, and division will be stuck or will never stuck our land again." Close quotes. Indeed, 23 years after the achievement of democracy, millions of our people have now access to water, electricity, and are now enjoying shelter provided by the ANC-led government. Our government is hard at work rolling out the national health insurance. In the province of KwaZulu-Natal, people with chronic diseases do not have to go to hospitals anymore, but instead they get their medication in churches closer to the areas of residence. Notwithstanding these successes, our former oppressors and their accolades have now positioned themselves as the guardian of our Constitution from the people whom they claim are determined to discredit. This narrative finds expression in the hollow assertion that those who are not happy with the pace of transformation and it attended manifestation are advocating for a society that is devoid of scared constitutional principle upon which our country is founded. This narrative also finds expression in the fallacy that anyone who is agitating for change in the status quo is striking at the very heart of our constitutional dispensation. We want to state for record that this constitution was nourished with the blood of our people who paid the ultimate price for its realization. Our people are the bulwark and the collective insurance against its discretion. However, it doesn't mean that where we need to change and amend the Constitution, we will be scared to do so. The result of the second quarter of labor force survey confirms that as the country, we are sitting on a time bomb in terms of equality, and the expression of this equality is still along racial lines. That's why those who benefited from the apartheid colonialism will do everything to defend their legacy. Of 6.1 million unemployed in the second quarter of 2017, a total of 5.4 million are black Africans, while only 110,000 are white. Just a day before yesterday, Statistics South Africa released the poverty trends in South Africa, which also confirmed that the poverty still engulfs the majority of white and of black Africans in South Africa. Honorable Chairperson, from the ANC perspective, we view the Constitution as an enabler in addressing poverty, inequality, and unemployment. For the Constitution to do this, we need to move away from viewing the Constitution as a rigid document, a holy cow that we should not dare interrogate, in line with the dictate of the different phases of our struggle. In this regard, we concur with the sentiment shared by the retired Deputy Chief Justice, Judge Deepening Parliamentary, where he said, and I quote, "Very little was done with the question of land equity when the Constitution was written, and the effects are being lived now," close quote. Clearly, we need to act and act decisively on the question of land. Interestingly, when we call for the amendment of the Constitution to allow an expropriation of land with no compensation, those who benefited and continue to benefit from the proceeds of stolen land argue that this would undermine the Constitution. However, for years, the same people have been agitating for a referendum on the death penalty, for which it will also require the review of the Constitution. This is the hypocrisy that undermines the Constitution and not the effort of those who want to advance our revolution through proper and equitable distribution of wealth and resources of our country. As all of us know, in line with the current epoch, which we, the ANC, have characterized as the second phase of transition toward a national democratic society, one now seized with the implementation of the radical economic transformation agenda. We argue that when it comes to the issues of socio-economic
Honorable
justice,
MEC.
the Constitution...
Your time has expired, sir. Ke a leboga.
Thank you, Honorable
sir.
Chair.
The Honorable, the MEC for Cochrane, Mema Krupej.
Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, the Deputy President, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, the Premier of Free State, Premier Ace Magashule, ministers who might be here, deputy ministers, members of the NCOP, my colleagues, MECs from different provinces and speakers who are here from different legislatures, and members of the legislatures from different provinces, executive mayors and councillors, honorable members, comrades, ladies and gentlemen, Sechaba sa Free State, re a le dumedisha. It is always an honor and great privilege for us as Limpopo to partake in the debate in this August House on behalf of our Premier of Limpopo, Premier Chupu Stanley Matabata. Let me start by welcoming the address by the Deputy President, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa. Indeed, your address has succeeded to highlight the significant milestones we have traversed as a nation in the past 20 years of our constitutional democracy. These milestones were mostly recorded through the support and the quality oversight work of the NCOP. There's no doubt that the past 20 years of existence of the NCOP has been 20 years of taking service to the people. We can look back with a pride and say that through this institution, we have done our best to fulfill contractual obligations to the people of South Africa. This obligation that forms part of our commitment to the people is the obligation to restore the inherent dignity of our people that has been battered by successive regimes of white minority rule. Amongst others, we have done this by ensuring that we widen the doors of education and training to the youth, we bring about equality before the law, we remove all artificial barriers that bar our people from full and meaningful participation in the socio-economic life of our country, and expand on the provisioning of basic services such as housing, water, electricity, and decent sanitation to our people. Madam Speaker and honorable members, you will know that Limpopo is one of those provinces which still carry the vivid but ugly birthmarks of the legacy of apartheid and colonialism. This is because a significant part of our province is rural, and as a result, were deliberately excluded from government planning and service provision before 1994. Today, many of our people who were reluctant to identify with our province because of its underdevelopment are happier to say, I'm from Polokwane, I'm from Mukopane, I stay in Lephalale, Musina, and so forth and so forth. This is because of the visible improvements and benefits that have accrued for our people since the advent of our new constitutional order. In Limpopo, Madam Speaker and the chairperson of the NCOP, I can indicate that on matters of health, Limpopo is implementing ideal clinic program, and to date, more than 77 health care facilities are meeting that status. In 2015-16, 2016-17, more than 100 state-of-art ambulances were delivered in the province in different health facilities. The province has managed to reduce maternal HIV vertical transmission from 2% to 1.1% against the target of 1.4%. Our TB treatment success rate is at 82%, while our multi-drugs resistant TB treatment success rate is at 7.7%, which is above the national target of 80%. Part of these improvements include the fact that in Limpopo, for an example, we have over 70% learners in public schools who do not pay school fees. Every year, our provincial government ensures that we expand the network of both school nutrition program and all important scholar transport. Since 1994, we have built and handed over 320.
Honorable MEC, please take your seat. The Honorable Mukwili.
MEC is telling us, we have been hearing it when he was in Cape Town.
You on a point of order, ma'am.
So I'm requesting that he must come with something new. Because these things we
Honorable
have heard
Mukwili,
before.
please take your seat. You know you are out of order. Honorable MEC, please continue.
Since 1994, we have built and handed over 320 and 16 units which benefited 1.8 million people in Limpopo. The province is getting towards achieving 80,000 housing opportunities by 2019. Achieving this target contributes to the national target of 1.5 million housing opportunities by 2019. This number will be adding to the 4.3 million houses which our government has built countrywide since 1994. Today, almost 93% of households in Limpopo are connected to electricity. We have improved on our network to decent sanitation, although much still needs to be done in this area given the huge backlog we inherited. Thus far, our province has managed to connect over 78% of our households to clean drinkable water. Just recent statistics quarterly labor force survey for second quarter of 27 revealed that quarterly figures that indicate that Limpopo province recorded the highest employment gains of 32,000 jobs in the country, followed only by KwaZulu-Natal province at 29,000 jobs. These achievements can be attained through hard work and good leadership by our premier and this province support.
Please take your seat, Honorable Mukwili.
You know, there's no consistency in Limpopo. It means what the MEC saying. Delegates of Limpopo doesn't agree with it because
you are
it's
out
only
of
one
order,
person
Honorable.
that clap hands.
You are out of order, Honorable Mukwili. Please continue, ma'am.
We are recognized among the provinces that have shown the right momentum in 2015-16 municipal audit outcomes. This is a notable decrease in the amount of fruitless and wasteful expenditure incurred by municipalities during this period. There is improvement of unqualified audit opinions findings from 2015 to 2015-16 financial year. AG attributes the improvements in Limpopo to an increased focus in resolving audit findings. Emerging out of 2016 local government election, municipalities in Limpopo continue to lead the charge in gender equality, followed by Northwest and the Eastern Cape provinces. To be specific, 14 of 27 mayors in Limpopo are women. On a month dedicated to women, this is obviously encouraging good storyline of our country, especially given the current challenges we are facing relating to the brutal attacks of our women and children. Indeed, we'll continue to follow the footprints of our heroines and heroes, which were led by Charlotte Matleke, Lillian Ngoyi, and many of our struggling heroes that have led before us. These are many other achievements I've alluded to show that we are indeed a province on the move. Let me conclude by inviting everyone to join the winning partnership led by the African National Congress so that we can realize more achievement for our people. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable MEC. The MEC for Agriculture, Rural Development, Land and Environmental Affairs, the Honorable Shongwe.
Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, the chairperson of the NCOP, Honorable T.R. Modise, Premier of Free State, Honorable Mahashule, and all MECs from different provinces that are here, members of the NCOP, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Chair, our young democracy has many notable milestones to be celebrated by all South Africans across all races, political and religious affiliation, which include the Constitution and the NCOP as captured in the theme for this outreach. As we lower our banners in this month, August, to remember the contribution of women in our revolution, we also pride ourselves that this year has been declared the year of O.R. Tambo. And I will honestly appeal to honorable members, especially women, that they must support each other as women, not to come here in the podium and criticize each other, rather build each other as women.
On a point of order, Chair.
Honorable Shongwe, please take your seat. Honorable Koni, you are on your feet.
You know, I promised myself I was not going to ask the honorable member there any question. So
You
he's
want to ask the
provoking
member
me.
a question, ma'am?
Yes.
Honorable Shongwe, will you take a question?
Honorable Koni.
Uzaitat?
No.
Honorable Koni, you want to take a question? Please continue, sir.
On a point of order, Chair.
There is another point of order. Please take your seat. Honorable Mukwele. Are you on a point of order?
Yes.
Not on a point ya go bolela.
On a point of order.
Yes,
That
the
is
point of order is?
He is misleading the House Chair. The Honorable Koni, when she was referring to women.
Honorable Mukwele, you are out of order because this member on the podium did not say Honorable Koni.
It was only Honorable Koni that mentioned
Honorable
women.
Mukwele, take your seat. You cannot
we are-
assume
we are
simply
not-
because.
we are
Please
not-
take your seat, ma'am.
We are not
Please
promoting
take your
you.
seat.
We are not. Mother, because it's you, I will.
Please take your seat. Honorable Koni, what is it?
It's
A point of order.
Yes, Chairperson.
Timamel?
Okay, he did not mention my name, but he must stop
No,
looking at me.
Honorable.
Please, Chairperson.
Oh, no.
He must stop looking at Chair, he must face that direction.
Honorable Koni, just a little lecture from an old woman who is presiding. All South Africans have the right to associate, to look wherever they want to look, and to sit where they are. You cannot infringe on a member who is on the podium's right to look anywhere in the House. Please proceed. Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. The reason why I'm looking at this side is because she is wearing a red color, and a red color is very visible than other colors. Our country, the Free State, our visit to the Free State province have exposed all of such legacy of apartheid for over 350 years when Nationalist Party was in charge of this country. And that will never be to be written off. And ngifuna ukusho-ke ngisho ngesizulu ukuthi ngeke size sikhohlwe la sibuya khona ngoba ngeke sazi ukuthi siyaphi. That is what we are doing, building as Mpumalanga. We are also building and assembly plants for tractors, both in Nkandastra in Kangala, as well as Hertzbande in Secunda. That's where we was going to skill our people in making sure that they are able to maintain tractors and go back and till the land. And that is going to create jobs and the capacity, especially to the youth of the province. Honorable Chair, ngifuna ukusho-ke ukuthi eZimpumalanga we are at work, and we have seen also la Free State izibhedlela nama-clinics ayakhiwe yi-government ye-apartheid. Ngiyabonga kakhulu Baba Mahashule nikanye nobaba uKhompela ukuthi you are busy addressing that legacy of apartheid. You will, everybody must remember ukuthi the area towards Lesotho, it was once an area of Bantustan, and for that matter, and Ikwakwa as well, and for that matter, those matters need to be addressed. And what we have observed.
MEC, please take your seat. At all, please continue, Honorable Shongwe.
Honorable Koni,
please don't address Honorable Koni, address me.
Ungabi personal mhlonishwa, ungakhiphi indaba zethu zasekamereni phambi kwabantu.
Honorable Shongwe, please withdraw that remark.
Please.
Said in good humor as it was.
I withdraw unconditionally.
Unconditionally. Please continue, sir.
In the process, we will create new jobs while laying a conducive environment for our farmers to sustain their work of producing food to feed the nation through supplying the agri-hubs and the Mpumalanga International Fresh Produce Market. We have discovered that most of the health facilities in this province are overburdened and operating beyond normal health standards. Despite the fact that they are overstretched, they use what is available to assist our people, and that needs to be appreciated. Honorable Chair.
We thank you very much, Honorable Shongwe. Your time has expired.
Thank you.
The Honorable Khayla.
The UDM is appalled by the state of health system in the Free State. We recognize that the country is in a difficult financial state. However, the situation here is far more than just a matter of throwing money to the problem. It is very clear there is absolutely no leadership and political will on the part of those given the responsibility to provide qualitative, reliable, basic health service to the people. Many, if not of the health facilities, do not have adequate staff, machinery, and have decaying infrastructure where no human being is supposed to be serviced by a caring government. Worse than what we have seen with naked eye, behind the broken infrastructure, there are empty offices and drawers, no proper medication. It is better for the poor people to stay at home than to walk into these facilities where there is no service. This situation is affecting the poorest of the poor who do not have hope for jobs or are jobless. The well-off go to private facilities. Any nation whose health is a suspect or even a state of decay has no reason to call itself a nation. The UDM calls on the national government to intervene in the provincial health. More than 70% of the South African population is confirmed by the 2015 household survey use public health facilities. Sihlalo ngomei besilapha. Enye yendawo esiye kuyo yiMohakare municipality eRouville. Pha sifike kwiclinic ekuthiwa yiWinnie Mandela Clinic. Safika pha kungekho basebenzi, kushota amanesi, kwi-acting manager. Worst of all, in 2014, this government promised them a health facility. They started to build that in 2014. Up to date, when we were there in May, only the foundation was there. There was building material. Monies have been paid. Nobody knows what happened to those money. That is in Rouville, Deputy President. Uyoyibona. Imali phumile, imaterial phayana akakhiwanga. Okokugqibela Chairperson. NgoLwesibini besilapha enansi ngentabantu. Kwiclinic ekuthiwa iDinani. Apho khona infrastructure iphela empela. but into esothusileyo kuyanetha koofestile akho into esothusileyo phayana kubana sifika kwicontractor ekuthiwa kwitoilet ubana isakha ubana sisiya khona sothuka ubana kungalungiswa ibuilding enjeyana ebole yonke sothuse imaterial ibizosetyenziswa phayana siya sacela kumntu ophayi official epha abantu mayisiphathele ibana imalini nale lento ilungiswa yapha ngale material engekho semthethweni sothukile singamalungu onke la committee no political affiliation thetha ngelizwe linye sothukile ubana laa nto ibesenje 180,000 but what is worse MEC is that 100,000 of that money is for management of the project 80,000 goes to material iyaphi loo mali we therefore call on you Deputy President ubana kanti nikhangela i-corruption apha kule province imali karhulumente ayinophuma isetyenziswe ibhatala into ezingekhoyo dinane apha eNtabantshuku if you go to Ntabantshuku Deputy President the infrastructure there ayikho it has never been incorporated into Free State abantu bakhona bayakhala so ke ezo nto ziyafuna ukhangela imali zikarhulumente zozobana kuyiservice ebantwini hayi bakutyela abantu abathile inkosi.
The Honorable Maluleke is not here. Shift.
Ask them to the following member to take a seat behind them.
Honorable members, please look at your speakers list. If you are next on the podium, look at the clock and please wait here. Go straight to the podium, ma'am.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I'm sorry, maybe I'm having
Order, you are protected, please start.
maybe I'm having the wrong speakers list. Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the NCOP, the Deputy President of the country, the Premier of Free State, Honorable NCOP members, members of the legislature present, Salga leadership, committee members, distinguished guests. Honorable Chairperson, let me first bring the greetings from the People's Province of Bukonibu-Prima and accept the apology of the Premier of Honorable Supra Mahuma Pili, who due to some of government commitment, he could not be with us. 2 years after the first democratic elections in 1994, the first democratic president of the Republic of South Africa, the global icon, the man who spent the entire part of his fight for the throne, made history when he signed the final draft of the Constitution in Sharpeville, in Vereeniging on the 10th December 1996, which was the International Human Rights Day. We gathered today, 20 years after, to celebrate the history made in the Sharpeville. We celebrate the Constitution which, for the first time, guaranteed the citizens of this country, both blacks and whites, equally before the law. Chapter 2 of this historic document entrenches the Bill of Rights, which South Africans from all of lives have as a protection against any form of discrimination. On behalf of the people of Bukonibu-Prima, we take pride of the achievement made since the adoption of the Constitution. Our people's dignity has been restored. South African, mostly blacks and African in particular.
Honorable Maluleke, please take your seat. Honorable Mukweli.
Chair, we are requesting ma'am there to...
I can't hear you, ma'am.
We are requesting ma'am to raise her voice. We can't hear anything. We
Thanks.
can't hear anything, ma'am.
You are right. Ma'am Maluleke, I can't hear you too. Please raise your voice.
Thank you, Chair. On behalf of the people of Bukonibu-Prima, we take pride of the achievement made since the adoption of the Constitution. Our people's dignity has been restored. South African, mostly blacks and African in particular, now feels that they are not visitors in the land of their forefathers. The dignity that was stolen from them by settlers who arrived in South Africa on the 3 ships has been restored. While we acknowledge that much has been done, to improve the lives of our people. We will naive not to acknowledge the shortcomings that are still there to improve the lives of our people. The forgotten population who are subjected to slavery method of living are still found in the farming land. Our people are still subjected to a long working hours without being paid overtime. Their living conditions are still bad. No electricity, no water, and sometimes no access to medical care. While we celebrate to hear, we must think of those women in far-flung areas of the country who still have traveled long distance to access water and wood to cook for their children. However, Madam Chairperson, there is much call for celebration. The Constitution of South Africa is a supreme law of the country. It provides the legal foundation for the existence of the Republic, set out rights and duties of the citizens to define the structures of government. South Africa is indeed constitutional democracy. We have seen on numerous occasions the Constitution prevail on matters that are important to the citizens. It ensures that we are public representatives accountable to the electorate on the mandate given to us during elections. Honorable Chairperson, Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, in order to realize what the preamble of Constitution states, the People's Province of Mpumalanga has adopted the 5 concrete as driving force for service delivery towards changing the life of our people. Among these 5 concrete, the other talks about reconciliation, healing, and renewal. This preamble of this historic Constitution states that we, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustice of the past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who work to build the development of our country in believing that South Africa belongs to all of us, all who live in it, united in our diversity. That is the reason why Honorable Premier of Mpumalanga, Supra Mahumapelo, has launched the Reconciliation, Healing and Renewal on the 18th of July when we celebrate Mandela Day, where clarion calls was made to white people, especially white farmers, to take part of the healing process, and we seek to build South Africa for all. The government of Mpumalanga will embark on the farm-to-farm visit, check the condition of our people live in. Where conditions are bad, engage the farmers to allow government to intervene in order to improve the life of African child. We realize that there are farm workers buried along the road. We will intervene as government within the law and in consultation with families, exhume the bodies and rebuild them in dignity. For us to heal division of the past and establish society based on democratic values, social justice and fundamental human rights, we need to work together, both black and white. Deputy President, on the signing of the final draft of the Constitution in law, former President Nelson Mandela has this to say, I quote, "By your presence here today, we solemnly honor the pledge we made to ourselves and to the world that South Africa shall redeem herself and thereby within the frontiers of human freedom." He further said, as we close a chapter of exclusion, the chapter of heroic struggle, we affirm our determination to build society of which each of us be proud as South Africans and as Africans in a citizen of the world. Indeed, we are proud to be South Africans in this free 20 years after the looking ahead with pride. Honorable Chairperson, again we gathered here celebrating the 20 years of the existence of the National Council of Provinces. What is more beating is that we celebrate 20 years of the NCOP on the month of women, the year of O.R. Tambo, while NCOP is led by a strong woman in Bokoto. We are proud as Mpumalanga to have a leader of her caliber coming from our province. Mr. Deputy President, South Africa is not a federal state. We are a unitary state with national parliament being the highest lawmaking body. Section 42, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa indicate that the NCOP represent provinces to ensure that the provincial interests are taken into account in national sphere of government. It does mainly participate in the national legislative process by providing provinces National Forum for Public Consideration Issues Affecting Provinces. We have witnessed and continue to witness the effective program of taking Parliament to the people and the impact it has made the people of Dr. Ruth Mumpadi, especially in Hanyisa, where the recent visit by members of the NCOP has ensured that People's Government of Bukoni-Bupima address the challenges raised by members of the NCOP. We appreciate good work done by members of the NCOP, their tenacity, endurance, and a commitment to work for the people of this country cannot be unrecognized. The people of Bukoni-Bupima will continue to be in debt to the good cause of this House. We pledge our utmost commitment to continue appearing before this House, account every time when we are called upon to come and account. To our communities, we are aware that still needs to be done, but with the Constitution we have and the commitment of the members of the NCOP, we will reach Kanana where honey and milk will be for all. On behalf of the people of Bukoni-Bupima, we appreciate time given to us to come and celebrate with you. And I thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. The Honorable Kaula.
Honorable Chairperson, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the NCOP should be responding to the annual address by the President today. Instead, we are responding to the address by the Deputy President. The IFP maintains that you have been brought here, DP, so that the President does not get to be exposed to the bitter pills of his actions and wrong decisions which are collapsing clean governance in South Africa. Be that as it may, I am reminded that the ANC has always maintained reflection of collective leadership. Therefore, the mess in which the country has been landed into by the governing party today cannot solely be blamed upon the President. Whilst the President is largely to blame, this is together with his entire collective leadership. Sir, you are the second in command of that collective leadership. In your own words, Deputy President, this is what you said last month in reference to the misfortunate happenings in the country. You said the house is on fire. 2 weeks back, at the OR Tambo lecture, this is what you said, and I quote, "We want our money back. The money that has been given out without good reason must be brought back," unquote. And addressing SATU in Durban in May this year, this is what you said, sir. "We will not surrender South Africa to greed and corruption." These are reflections of the state of collapse, mismanagement, and irregularities in our country from the viewpoint of the Deputy President of the country. The IFP agrees with you saying all these reflections. The only difference between you and the IFP is that you are beginning to realize these misfortunes only now. You are beginning to pronounce on these misfortunes only now. Whereas the IFP has repeatedly warned, repeatedly sounded danger signals, repeatedly raised alarm. All these fell on deaf ears, including the recently awakened ear of the Deputy President. The state of some of the health facilities and provision of health in this province is appalling. There is a saying that when you starve urban people, they riot. When you starve rural people, they die. This is very true about service delivery here in the Free State, especially in Tabanchu. Most of the clinics we visited are in a state of perpetual neglect by government. Some of the clinics we visited are Klipfontein, Kgalala, Siadimo, Mafane, Dinane. In Klipfontein, Kgalala, and Siadimo, they do not have any security guard. They are all rural, but in Mafane, because they are located in a township or semi-urban area, they have 7 security guards. In some facilities and in the district, managers are acting. Some have been acting since 2012 without receiving any acting allowance. In Tabanchu, the district health forum is neglected, the district health council has collapsed, clinic committees are collapsing. Even the ones that still have some good about this clinic, saying the facility manager. The state of neglect in Tabanchu local area for most facilities is just beyond anyone's understanding. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, sir. The Honorable Julius.
Chairperson, thank you. Members, Deputy President, MECs present, councillors, the
Honorable
people of
Julius,
Mangaung,
get closer to your mic, please.
the people of Mangaung and South Africans at large. You know, listening to the people of Mangaung this week, I came to the conclusion that the raison d'etre of people's woes in Mangaung is economic development. They need skills, they need jobs, they want better healthcare now. They say that they did not get a better life as promised. And yes, Honorable Shongwe, by the ANC. Who can we else blame? It's the ANC that is in government. Whilst we thank the staff in health sector of the Free State who work so tirelessly under strenuous circumstances that we have seen this week, and ANC members were with us, you also whispered in our ears that, you know what, this is corruption. You said it yourself that the Premier is corrupt. You said he's a mafia, and you can't have the guts to come here and stand to say that the people need a better government than the corrupt provincial government in this province. You said it yourself, ANC members. However, hospitals and clinics still require much needed equipment. Staff shortages
Honorable Julius,
is the
please
norm.
take your seat. Chief Whip.
Honorable Chairperson, I am rising on a point of order of Honorable Julius raising matters that distorts what the public hearings have been saying. But he is raising an issue, not a debate, but he making strong allegations. Makes strong allegations of issues that were never raised against the Premier. I request you to rule on that.
We did not hear half of what you said because you were far from the mic.
No, Chair, I'm saying he is making, Honorable Julius, making very strong allegations on matters that were not raised against the Premier. So I was requesting you to rule him out of order on the issues he's alleging.
Honorable Chief Whip, I have a difficulty in this one. In fact, the Honorable Julius is using hearsay because we were not there. He says that the ANC people who he is not naming said. I want to be given an opportunity to get advice on how to deal with this matter. Please continue, Honorable Julius.
Thank you, Chairperson. As I said, I didn't say it. The ANC said it. You know, in this province, people wait in long queues at hospitals and clinics, irregular tenders. The health system of the Free State Province, Chairperson, is in a mess. In fact, Chairperson, the health system in the Free State is enough to make anyone sick. MEC Kasa, you spoke about remedial action, but you failed to acknowledge who the culprits are that got us here. After 23 years of ANC governance, it would be prudent to acknowledge who got us here at this stage, who failed our people that are listening at this stage. People of the Free State, the real problem is that the ANC leaders are more worried about their own political survival than your interest. Deputy President, you told delegates at the SCCP 14th National Congress that the Freedom Farm given to the Guptas could have been used to build schools, roads, houses, and other community needs for these people in the Free State. This is exactly what they want. They want their services. You also said we cannot turn a blind eye on the lead Gupta emails, nor can we keep quiet. You also said it today. Deputy President, the people need a more straight talk. You're sitting amongst the people that are corrupt. Why can't you say it? You are corrupt. It's because of you. There are here amongst them that are cronies of the Guptas. They are recipients of the Guptas. We want you to talk straight to them and say, you don't belong in government because you sold our people to the Guptas. Deputy President, the Guptas are not stealing from the ANC or the SCCP. The Guptas are stealing from the people. They are stealing from the government. We want you to talk to the people here in government and not at ANC rallies. You must address it here in front of these people. You were always silent when speaking in government. Just like today, a very vague approach. We want a strict approach so that we can root out corruption if we are serious to root out corruption in this most corrupt province in the country. Chairperson, allow me thus to challenge the Deputy President to come here today and tell these people sitting here that he will take action against the Guptas, against the President, against corrupt premiers, against corrupt officials at state-owned companies, and all those that are stealing from government. Please come up, Chairperson.
Morena, your time has expired. Thank you.
And by the way, Chairperson, thank you for voting with us, Deputy President.
Honorable Julius, your time has expired. The Honorable, the MEC for Cocta in the Northern Cape, the Honorable Buertes.
Honorable Chairperson of NCOP, Honorable Mayor Tandi Modise, Deputy Chairperson of NCOP, Honorable Razariti Tau, His Excellency the Deputy President of South Africa, Honorable Ramaphosa, Tonahola ya Free State Province, Ntati Ace Mahashulu, and leaders of our organization present. Deputy President, the Northern Cape wishes to acknowledge the privilege of your leadership here today. We wish to start with a seminal quote made in 1930 by Pixley Kaisaka Semi, a founding member of the People's Liberation Movement, who holds equal value today. And I quote, "In order to review the past and reject therein all those things which have retarded our progress, the things which poison the springs of our life and virtue, and as members of one household, to talk and think loudly on our home problems and the solution of them," unquote. The central topology, the overarching collective consensus, Honorable Chairperson, is that the architecture of our struggle in South Africa is a struggle for the disenfranchised people of South Africa. There can be a debate, Honorable Chairperson, of what is the color today about monopoly capital, but there can be no multiplicity of the color of the South African struggle. It is primarily a struggle for the betterment of the lives of the black South African, with Africans in particular requiring a heightened political focus. From Kamiesberg to Fraserburg, from Carnarvon to the R, from Uppington to Kuruman to Kimberley, the people's struggle must continue to be predictable and certain. It must be predictable, knowing that the general attribute of the South African government is that of being a pro-poor people's government. It must be certain, knowing that the triple and stubborn pitfalls of poverty, unemployment and inequality is a fight that must be waged from the people's corner, from the corner of the working class and the poor. Honorable Chairperson, our language can therefore never be neutral. We are in the epoch which we must remind ourselves that freedom was not free. We are the reflective and the mirror image, wherein the blood of young Matthias must find political justification for their sacrifices. Honorable Chairperson, we are the footprints that should confirm that once were warriors amongst our people, and as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of Oliver Tambo, we must be reminded that this revolution was not an apple which fell when ripe, but the story of the South African revolutionary project was brought about particularly by the colossal resilience of our youth and women's movements led by the African National Congress. Rosa Luxemburg were instructive that the masses of South Africa is the decisive element in the people's struggle. It therefore holds, Honorable Chairperson, that as a people's movement, we carry the burden of history, and we must continue to give hope to the hopeless, jobs to the jobless, homes to the homeless, and we must be seized with a parallel work to make poverty poorer. Key poverty transmitters were a historic denial of basic services to our people. In the Northern Cape province, we can report that water stands at 97%, sanitation access stands at 75%, electricity stands at 85%, and refuse removal, Honorable Chairperson, stand at 64%. That is in terms of the Statistics South Africa 2011 census. Equally so, Honorable Chairperson, Rosa Luxemburg remarked that the most revolutionary thing to do is to always proclaim loudly what is happening. In the Northern Cape, we are steadfastly pushing back the frontiers of poverty. Mentiro ya vula vula, Honorable Chairperson. Our deeds, it must speak for itself. However, Chairperson, Amil Cabral has reminded us to always tell the truth and not to easily claim victories. In the Northern Cape, the most stubborn and colossal challenge remains unemployment. It is not true, Honorable Chairperson, that the height of unemployment is located in the Free State province. It is a lie. The Northern Cape, Honorable Chairperson, based on the Statistics South Africa.
MEC, please take your seat. Honorable Member Koni.
I would like to check with the speaker on the podium if he will gladly take a question from Northern Cape.
Honorable Buertes, will you take a question?
Northern Cape to Northern Cape.
Honorable Chairperson, I'm unfortunately married.
He is not willing, ma'am. Please take your seat.
Thank you very much.
I did not get that, the answer.
The Honorable MEC says no.
No, but that's
You
not
will
what
not
he
take
said.
a question.
That's not what he said, Chairperson.
Honorable Buertes, did you not say you do not want to take a question?
Unfortunately, no, Honorable Chairperson.
No, he said, unfortunately, he's married. So I just wanted to check who is not.
Honorable members, please stop wasting this House's time. That is now superfluous, please.
No,
Please take your seat, Honorable
But he
Koni.
must withdraw. But what does his marriage have to do with me? He could have just said no. I'm also happily
Ma'am,
married.
please take your seat. You are also married. Take your seat.
Happily, say happily.
Yes.
Say happily, Chairperson.
Take your seat, ma'am. Proceed.
Honorable Chairperson, thank you very much. Ritladula Ritabile, Honorable Chairperson. Chairperson, it is not true, Honorable members, that the height of unemployment is located in the Free State province. In terms of the 1st June 27 statistics released by Stats SA, the Northern Cape is the province with the largest percentage of unemployed people, with expanded joblessness standing at 43.9% and narrow unemployment standing at 30.7%. However, Honorable Chairperson, we are confident, working with the NCOP, that our attentive detail and collaboration with state-owned entities and national government will unlock, in particular, the development of the Upington Cargo Hub, the Upington SCZ and solar manufacturing plant, the Port Nolloth Deep Sea Harbour development, and the revitalization of Northern Cape Rail. Honorable Chairperson, what is important today to raise is to raise the matter of the stubborn matter of Eskom municipal debt. In the Northern Cape, 68% of our current and past municipal obligations is outstanding to Eskom for more than 90 days. The posture of Eskom is increasingly worrisome in the light of the glaring poverty challenges facing our people. We cannot, as a government and as a parliament, be a passive observer in this interstate conflict, which evidently will undermine our forward movement as a people. Leadership of SOEs is leadership of public affairs, and it should always, Honorable Chairperson, primarily be driven by the public interest. In the centenary year of Oliver Tambo, the likes of Tisha Vanga and Tebogo Sekisi continue to be the face print and imaginary of the youth defiance, Amadela Kufa. In the Northern Cape, we were the beneficiary of the first post-apartheid university with the establishment of Soplaiki University. A key challenge, Honorable Chair, remains how to make sure the relevant primary economic sectors respond to the questions of the needs of research as it relates to energy, science, mining and agriculture in the Northern Cape. Honorable Chairperson, let me address the issues of the fight against crime and corruption. It is correct, Honorable Chairperson, that the African National Congress is leading this fight in the Northern Cape. The previous Namakoi municipal manager, who was employed as a grade 10 municipal manager, finds himself today, Honorable Chairperson, in the courts for financial fraud amounting to more than R250,000.
On a point of order, Chair.
Yes, please take your seat. Honorable.
What I said in the beginning about the MEC that he is not in touch of his province. The person
that is not a point of order.
He's misleading. The person that he's talking about has been cleared by the court of law. And he is misleading because in all of the municipalities in the Northern Cape, all the municipal managers
do not
don't
extend
have
the point.
necessary qualifications to occupy those positions.
Honorable
as
Mukwili, you
municipal
are debating
managers
now.
and directors, you know.
Honorable Mukwili, you are now debating.
I can tell you about more.
Take your seat. Honorable Buotes, proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. This was also the gentleman that was employed without a matric to run a municipality.
We can't hear you, sir.
I say this gentleman, Honorable Chairperson, who today happens to be the leader of the EFF in
On
the
a point
Northern
of order,
Cape.
Chair.
There is another point of order. Please take your seat, Honorable Koni.
Your friends in social development, all the departments
Honorable
in the Northern Cape, you hired them without even a
Honorable
matric.
Koni, you know you are out of
misleading
order.
South Africa, man.
Honorable Koni. Honorable Buotes, please proceed.
Honorable Chairperson.
On a point of order, Chair.
Honorable Mukwili,
On a point of order, Chair.
please do not debate with the speaker on the podium.
I
What
will
is the
never
point of
debate,
order?
But I'm again, Chair, standing here to say you must rule against what the Honorable MEC is saying. Because I knew he will go and announce that the person that he's talking about is the leader of EFF. The man has been cleared by the court of law, by the court. So he cannot come here and mislead South Africa and grandstand.
You have made
And
your
he
point,
knows
ma'am.
very
Please
well
take
that
your seat.
What he's saying is wrong. You know
Please
very well.
take your seat. Honorable Buotes,
He was
order. Honorable Buotes, if you do know that what the honorable members are saying is true, please withdraw.
Honorable Chairperson, what I've said is that this current leader of the EFF has found his passage to the court of law. He was arraigned in criminal charges of fraud. That is what I've said. I've not pronounced on the outcome of the court.
Honorable Buotes. Order. No, I'm not going to recognize you, ma'am. Honorable Buotes, Honorable Mukwili, Honorable Koni, I want to undertake to come back to this point because no, Honorable Koni, not in the House. You are withdrawing. There is now a discussion about the intricacies of politics, about who is corrupt, who was convicted, and who is not convicted. As this House, we are not privy to that that information. I would like to take the opportunity to do that and to rule and I do know that I cannot rule in the House when the honorable member is there. I am, however, going to take advantage of Rule 2 to rule in his absence and to send a written ruling, whichever way I will go once I have the facts. Can we now proceed, please?
Thank you very much, Honorable.
This matter, Honorable Buertes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Importantly, Honorable Chairperson, on Monday, the conviction for corruption, fraud.
Honorable Buertes, can you not come back to this particular matter?
No, it's another point, Honorable Chair.
Is that a different point altogether?
I wanted to speak on the fight of corruption in relation to Karoo Hoogland municipality, Honorable Chairperson, which was a municipality that was led by the COPE and DA coalition, where the courts, the Williston Regional Court, have actually convicted successfully 3 senior municipal administrators for corruption and fraud as it relates to the geysers, the free geysers that is meant for our poor people. I'm raising the fact, Honorable Chairperson, that the African National Congress is central to the fight against corruption. Does ANC government have ensured that Atta Brown, Honorable Chairperson,
Point of order, Chair.
Honorable member, I'm not taking a point of order because the MEC's time is also up.
Can he also mention?
No, I'm
the
not taking your point of order. Please take your seat.
And Maharing, where
Please
the
take
ANC
your
is
seat,
leading.
Honorable Mukwili. Laulecha. Get orderly. Honorable Buertes, your time has expired. Thank you very much.
thank you very much for your attention, Chair.
We now call on the Salga representative, the Honorable Mlamli.
Ha ke hlomphe ho ba teng ha motlatsa mopresidente Ntate Cyril Ramaphosa, ke hlomphe modulasetulo wa Kgabane Mme Thandi Modise, Mopremiri Ntate Magashule Papa Hlasela, members of the Free State Legislature and other legislatures, delegates to NCOP, members of Salga PEC, executive mayors and mayors, ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. Modulasetulo rona re leba mokgatlo wa Salga, re ne re shebile hore re bona hore e ne e kgakgatha tjhotjholoza ya NCOP ka hara Mangaung, ya phunyeletsa maqhubu a serame se kenella masapong. Baahi ba Mangaung le ba Karipi ba tla ka metiletile ya bona ho ntsha mabina-bina a dipelo tsa bona, ba bua seo ba neng ba rata ho se bua, ba akgola mmuso mo yentseng hantle, ba tshwela ka mathe mo ho sa lokang. Modulasetulo ho ne ho le monate, batho ba bua ka ho itlhompha, bomme le bona ba le teng ka hare, ho sena bo tjete dilo. Modulasetulo ya dutseng Gauteng, as Salga is instructed, and it is also part of this taking parliament to the people. Ke rata hore ke toboketse hore ba heso ka morao ba apartheid e re hanele hore le rona re dule jwale ka ba basweu ka hara parlamente, ke mona Modimo re thusitse mohau ona hore o re fihletse le rona re dula ka hara parlamente.
Councillor Mpemutsutswana, batho beso, lona ha le didietsi ebileng ha le ope matsoho, le tlile mosebetsing wa mapalamente ka hlompho hle. Tswella pele mme.
Re tena motsamaisi wa ditaba tsena re dula ka hara parlamente hobane banna bontate over Tambo, yeo selemong sena re ketekang dilemo tse 100 tsana le rona, banna ba ileng ba sotleha ke makgowa, banna ba ileng ba tshela dinoka ka maoto, hore ebe kajeno ho na le tulo ena ho theng ke NCOP kajeno ka nnete re boka dikgomo. Ha re akgole he modulasetulo bokgabane ba kopano ena ya kgorula koqo, bakgethwa kajeno ba tlile ba tswile ka makatlana mane, ba tlilo etsa ditshebeletso, ba tlilo sheba hore na ditshebeletso tsa bophelo bo botle di jwang mona Freistata le Garipi ka hara motse wa Mangaung, City of Roses. Ha se ka mehla baahi ba rona ba kgona hore ba re fihlelle, ba bone ba presidente, ba bone bontate Ramaphosa kajeno lena la iponela tse re hlolang re di bona parlamenteng, televisioneng, kajeno re di bona di ba metseng ka hara mmuso wa apartheid e ne le vet and swart, ditshebeletso di be hantle. Modulasetulo re bua ka motlotlo re le Salga, re bone ka mahlo ha ntate Magashule le matona a hae le majoro ba ne ba eme mona ba fa batho hore tse kgonehang hore di lokiswe ka potlako ho etse jwale. Re bone ho hlaselwa ho ntshwa di-wheelchair mona, bana ba fuwa di-uniformo, dipetlele di fuwa dikobo, e sentse e hlasela ka tlasa ntate Magashule. Motsamaisi wa ditaba tsena ka nako ya ha o ntso ho sebetswa hore batho ba tle ba tsebe ho kgetha, re le ra utlwa mokgatlo wa EFF o tshepisa batho hore bona ba tla tlisa 24 hours clinic, re ntse re lebeletse le kajeno. Empaneng mokgatlo ona wa ANC ona o
Majoro, please take your seat.
You know,
Mkwili.
She doesn't even know that we are not in government.
Ke a leboga mme.
How will we do it if we are not in government?
Your
Wait
point
for
is
us
taken.
To be in government, Mama.
Thank you. Ma'am Lamley, please continue.
Modulasetulo puo ya ka e totobetse, ha ona mo ntseng ke re tse dilo. Taba tsa ka ke tsena tse reng ka hara Freistata ka mona he. Ha se re hlasela rona re na le MUCPP le batho kliniki e le dikliniki tsa 24 hours. Ka September modulasetulo wa Khabane, modula qoa ya Motle, re tla be re bula kliniki ya 24 hours. Deputy President wa Sutwa Sotho saka mane Sosolo e bitswa Herigwala, ha ona le nako tlopote. However, we observe during visits, le di-side visit, matona a rona, ditho tsa Salga, ha ba ka ba tjhetjhella morao ha o tjhakelwa dikliniki. Hobane ne ba batla ho etsa bonnete ba hore ba teng ba tsamaya le ditho tsa NCOP. Ba ne ba na le rona, re lebohile ho bona ho sa nyamele ha bona. Salga appreciates the role of women in South Africa's struggle for emancipation. Ke kgwedi ya bomme ena, yeo ka yona re hopolang bomme Charlotte Maxeke, batho ba ho marcha ka hara the then called Maitland Streak, now changed to be Charlotte Maxeke. And also those women that marched 1956. Ha ba se ba le hopola letsatsi leo, modulasetulo ba re Straydom Pasop uza kufa. As Salga, we are concerned that the 3rd August 2016 local government election only managed to give 41% of women. We are pleading that government must look at that. The launch of Salga Women's Commission in 2010 was a major milestone, Honorable Chair, to enable us as women to be given an opportunity hobane basadi ba matla basadi ba na le bokgoni ba tshwara thipa ka bohaleng. Motsamaisi wa dipuisano mona Freistata ka hara mokgatlo ona wa SALGA re tla be re hlomamisa bomme ba tleng ba dula ditulo ba tsetsepela. Re leboha democracy ena e eteletsweng pele ke lona bomme, ena eo re akgolang bomme ba sebete, bomme ba lekang bethe, bomme Thandi Modise, bomme Mamiki Kabathe, re a kena dingaka di re tshwara. Mona Freistata ke rata ho etsa mohlala ka Home Affairs. Modulasetulo ha o fihla Home Affairs mane ebile e monate e Rockland ha e Danpinari. Ho kena e motsho le e mosweu re dula side by side. Ke hallo more goeiedag sawubona molweni. Ke rata hore ke tholetse bo masepala ba rona ka hore ka nnete ba itikile. Governance in our municipalities has improved immensely as indicated by improving audit outcomes. Audit outcomes are not the only indicator of stable governance, but they remain a good and reliable indicator for us as SALGA. On Monday, I reported, as I was taking the podium as the executive mayor of Mangaung Metro, I reported that while we inherited about 9 disclaimers when we started last term, but now we are happy to say we are left with only 2, and the number of municipalities achieving unqualified opinions have increased, and we have Fezile Dabi with clean audits.
Me Oli, qetella ngwaneso.
Ha ke qetella ke re ke kopa hore mmusong matona ministers matona ha ba fihla ka ga bo masepala ba ske ba etsa ditshepiso tse boima hore ba khutle ba di phetise ba qabanya bo masepala le setjhaba. Ha ba ile ba tshepisa ba khutle modulasetulo re a tshepisa re tla be re le teng ha le khutle hape ka 2018 re ntse re na le papa Hlasela Ntate Magashule ka sebete sena se ha isale re reporta hore re entse mona re entse mona re sa haellwa re a leboha.
Re a leboha mme. The Honorable Mohai.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson of the Council of Provinces, the Deputy President, Comrade Premier, Executive Mayors and all councillors present, Honorable Members, MECs present here today. For many gathered here today, this event evokes the most emotional yet inspiring memories of the past. The memories of resilience of young people and workers of this area against the oppressive system of white minority domination during the 1980s. It is from the crucible of this heroic struggle that the finest leaders who became the embodiment of the rich history of struggle in the Free State emerged. Chairperson, I speak here of the death-defying generation of the late Comrade Abraham Kaiser Sebotelo, the first provincial secretary of the ANC in the Free State, after whose name this stadium is named. The long highway from entrance of Botshabelo to the far south evokes deep memories of one of our own, a humble servant of the people, political mentor of many amongst our generation, the late Comrade Jasmine Mukhotu, who died on line of duty in military camps of Uganda. To the Executive Mayor of Mangaung and the Council, generations of youth of Botshabelo to come will forever be indebted to you for the naming of this highway after this giant of our struggle as a fitting tribute to the selflessness of a generation of the 1980s. Deputy President, this debate takes place during the year declared by our movement as the year of Oliver Tambo. This enjoins us to remind ourselves the fundamental values that Oliver Tambo and his generation lived and died for in pursuance of liberation we are enjoying today. In one of their seminal writings on Oliver Tambo, Nadine Hegg and Jerry Dunphy had this to say, and I quote, "When we think of OR, what comes to mind is the most gentle soul, with the most tiger-like spirit, the kindest heart with the fiercest determination, the most compassionate nature with the strongest moral compass, the warmest, sweetest personality with an unflinching dedication to honesty, the most loving, peaceful temperament with the sharpest sense of conscience, the most beautiful smile with a resolve to accept only absolute integrity, the most noble, patient, calm presence with the most tenacious fervor for bold, uncompromising action, and the most brilliant intellect with the most earnest, sincere appreciation for the simplest contribution, close quote. We gather here 2 days after the Statistics South Africa has published the poverty statistics in South Africa, which has once more highlighted how women and children of our country continue to be the hardest hit by the scourge of poverty. MEC Zikalala elaborated quite largely on this matter. As you listen to our people over the last 4 days, narrating their joys and sorrows of life, nothing more can be said than to proclaim that our will and capacity to push back the frontiers of underdevelopment, disease, poverty, and unemployment become more compelling as the mission of existence of Parliament as a tribune of the people. Comrade Premier, setšhaba se ile sa bua mona, ba re bolella hore ho na le tlhokahalo ya mosebetsi, ba re ho na le di-challenges tsa a mang a marangrang a tsa bophelo, ba lla he ka nako e telele ka baka la hore ho na le backlog e kgolo. We still have a huge backlog on social transformation front, particularly on health and education. That remains a glaring question in South Africa, and it reflects the work of government hore na re tshwantse re etseng. Empa hape ba ile ba babatsa mo mosebetsi o tswileng matsoho teng, ene ba bang ba di-communities ba re bolella hore ba thabela ntho e le nngwe ya hore meriana e dula e le teng ditleliniking, ene ha meriana e dula e le teng ditleliniking empa ho sona le tse ding tse haellwang ka baka la kgolo ya setjhaba, o tshwanetse o reketse marangrang a ditleliniki tseo. Ene hape ba re bolella hore ba batla hore re sebetse ka pace e batlang e tatile haholo bakeng sa hore re etse diphethoho dintlheng tsena. So as a governing party, entrusted by overwhelming majority of our people for a better life for all, the ANC cannot act like any other political party in response to these challenges facing our people. We must be guided by the courage of conviction to admit the realities confronting our people and the fault lines in our own system of governance. We must tell no lies and claim no easy victories, as Amika Cabral would say. So we really need to deal with these issues and attend them with the urgency that they deserve. This is more compelling as we celebrate 100th anniversary of the late Comrade O.R. Tambo. Among the defining values of the legacy of O.R. is to tell the truth, even if it coincides with the NA. The task of the opposition in any political system is to shout and scream the loudest. Well, they have done that. The mistake we should avoid is to allow their screaming and shouting to define the content and pace of transformation. The ANC and the people of South Africa remains with a mandate to lead the people of South Africa unashamedly, and we should not compromise in that task. Only our people should be decisive factor in defining the agenda and pace of transformation because they have given us the mandate. In the same vein, we should avoid the danger of inaction to change the lives of our people simply because opposition is shouting the loudest. In the war against poverty, unemployment, diseases and underdevelopment, only our people should be the compass to point out the direction, the forests and the caves, the caves for us to hide in times of hazards of the revolution. This is the only fitting way in which to honor Oliver Tambo, Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Governor Mbeki, and all at their generation. As the ANC, we enter this debate humbled
by the sorrows and joys of our people articulated over the last 4 days. Amongst the fundamental questions that this debate should respond to is how are our people going to be involved as government will be addressing their challenges between now until the report back session. This is the greater test of success of the program of taking parliament to the people, which calls on the NCOP and the Free State Legislature to seize the moment and rise to the occasion to ensure that our people are the architects of their own future. In this, our people should reclaim the battle cry, nothing for us without us, for fundamental attribute of a people-centered and driven development agenda, as articulated in the Freedom Charter. Chairperson, without turning the economy of this province around to realize real growth in terms of employment and investment, we cannot address the challenges of poverty, diseases, and underdevelopment. As the current data on state of the economy of South Africa points out, the Free State is the second poorest province in South Africa, followed by Northern Cape, and this is despite its geographic location at the center of South Africa. The ANC is not found wanting in terms of policies. Our policies represent international best practice as articulated in our long-term developmental vision. The NDP attaches high premium on a healthy nation as a catalyst for economic growth. This imposes the task of turning our public health facilities into centers of excellence in line with the World Health Organization standards. Many industries that used to be critical sources of employment in Botshabelo, Tabanchu and Kwak, have closed down, and small business that used to be supported by Free State Development Corporation, some have collapsed. Honorable Premier, while this is in real economic terms constitute a small fraction of the economy of the Free State compared to agriculture, mining, and petrochemical sector, if we are not able to turn the tide in this small front, clearly we really need to do more in terms of dealing with these issues. Our trajectory of democratic developmental state places the state-owned enterprises at the cutting edge of radical economic transformation. The re-industrialization of the areas I have mentioned earlier requires robust, targeted, and integrated approach of the state-owned enterprises. This is particularly so in relation to manufacturing sector that used to be at the center of industrial activities here in Botshabelo and Tabanchu. The point we're arguing here, Deputy President, is that we need a strong manufacturing sector. We need to be in keeping with the technological advances in the world. We need to invest in bigger machinery, and this will help us to absorb large numbers of people that will work in these areas. We do note with great sense of appreciation a number of high-level economic interventions by government as part of radical socio-economic transformation. Critical among these is 100 industrialist program of the Department of Trade and Industry and the Industrial Development Corporation. And this program's significance of placing blacks at the center of the mainstream of the economy of South Africa. On behalf of the masses assembled here today, will it be a burden to humbly request that the former industrial areas of Botshabelo, Tabanchu and Kwakwa become strategic focus of this re-industrialization? I'm raising this not in a narrow context of provincialism, but within the broader context of narrative that has gained currency in the public discourse, that big projects in the country are directed to already affluent provinces. It is quite important that we make decisive action and intervention given the prevalence of poverty and unemployment, particularly in this area, Tabanchu, Kwakwa, and the rest of other areas in the province. Honorable members, in modern politics, perception occupies another level of reality and can influence and shape attitudes and behavior of the people. It is against this background that the ANC resolved to deal with corruption, wastage, and theft of public resources whenever they arise, to deal with decisively. The criminal justice system is raised as one of the best in the world based on supremacy of the Constitution. Many cases of alleged corruption are currently before criminal justice system, but we must be worried about the image and culture of politicizing corruption and theft by some who seek to make verdict on allegations of corruption even before the courts pronounce on such cases. These are forces that project themselves as paragons of justice and constitutionalism more than anybody in this country. According to newspaper reports recently, there's been a case of a deputy executive mayor of one of the metropolitan council governed by anti-ANC coalition is embroiled, allegation that is embroiled in serious allegations of corruption. To us, the ANC, of course there is anti-ANC coalition. To us, the ANC, these are allegations unless they are tested in the court of law. In his 18 Brumaire, Louis Bonaparte, Karl Marx reminds us, and I quote, that man makes their own history. They do not make it as they please. They do not make it under self-selected circumstances, but under circumstances existing already, given and transmitted from the past. Close quote. We cannot be complacent to the reality that our people are getting impatient. They await with great sense of decisive leadership, action and sense of agency in attending to these challenges with the state-owned enterprises and national departments. It's our view that state-owned enterprises should refocus their energies in making contribution to economic developments in a major way in the country to ensure that our economy grows for the better. Deputy President, ha ke phethela kere setjhabeng sena sa mona Freistata hore re sebetseng ka thata bakeng sa hore re fihlelle dintho tsena kaofela tse re buileng ka tsona mona. All of us know that only the ANC is capable of leading the people of South Africa.
Thank you. Honorable members, we had the pleasure to have sat with young pupils from Hohle Combined School. I think they have left now, but we thank them for gracing us with their presence earlier on. The Honorable, the Deputy President.
Me modula stulo wa council ya di province le ntate Tau o thusanang le wena tona kgolo ya rona ntate Ace Magashule o eta mmuso wa African National Congress province ena ya Freistata. MECs tse hlahang di provinceng tse ding ba emetseng Salga, Mme Mamiki Speakera sa province ya Freistata, le maloko kaofela a NCOP. Ke rata ho leboha dipuisano tsena tse re ntse re di tshwere mona. Hantle NCOP e tlile mona e seng haholo hore re tlo buisana mahare ha rona. E tlile mona hore e tlo utlwa hantle hore batho ba Freistata haholo batho ba dibakeng tsena mo maloko a NCOP a tsamaileng teng hore ana ba reng ka mosebetsi o etswang ke mmuso. Re leboha haholo ho fiwa sebaka sena sa hore re kopane le setjhaba sa mona Freistata. Re utlwe hantle hore ana ba reng ditletlebo tsa bona ke difeng le tseo tse ba thabisang ke difeng na. Re ka re utlwile hore le reng, ehlile le lona le utlwile hore maloko ana a NCOP a ne a filwe sebaka sa ho bua mona ba ne ba reng na. Ke emela hore ke lebohe boetapele ba NCOP le maloko a yona hore ba iphile nako ya hore ba tle mona Freistata. Selemong se fetileng ke ile ka ya mo kopanong ya bona Eastern Cape mane, empa nka tjho kajeko lena hore kgetlong lena kopano ena ya NCOP ka nnete ile intle lo feta e nngwe e se kileng ka ya ho yona. Intle ka hobane e ntlafatswa e seng haholo ke maloko a NCOP, e ntlafatswa ke lona batho ba mona Freistata. Ra le leboha ho tla ha lona hore le be mona le tlo utlwa hantle hore maloko a palamente ba ntse ba reng na. Le ikutlwetse ka bolona, ba bang ba ile ba bua ka nnete ka bokgabane, ba bang ba ne ba ipuela tsa bona, ba bang ho a etsahala hore ne ba pota empa le ikutlwetse. Ntho e nthabisang le ho feta ko hore re utlwile di-province kaofela ka nnete di hlalosa mesebetsi e ba e etsang di-provinceng tsa bona.
Honorable Deputy President, I've got a member on the floor. Please take your seat. Honorable Julius, you're on a point of order.
Yes, thank you, Chairperson.
What's
I
your
just want
point,
to know
sir?
whether it's parliamentary for the Deputy President to say that other members are talking nonsense or rubbish.
Honorable Julius. The Honorable Deputy President said, "Li ikutlwetse hore ba reng ba bangwe ba ne ba bua tjenana, ba bangwe le hae bana ba ne ba pota." Yes, I was also listening. Le hae bana. But I will grant it to you. Deputy President, please don't say the members of the NCOP ba pota hae ba utshilo jwalo.
O ntshwarele ke a e kgutlisa eno he. Ntho e nthabisitseng le ho feta ko re utlwile tonakgolo ya rona mona Ntate Magashule a tlhalosa ka botlalo dintho tse etswang mona ke mmuso wa Freistata, haholoholo ho tsena tsa bophelo. O ile a hlalosa hantle hore mmuso wa rona mona o rometse batjha dinaheng tse ka ntle, haholoholo Cuba, hore ba ilo ithutela bongaka. Ba rometse batjha ba fihlang ho 201. Nka le hlalosetsa he le batho ba mona Freistata hore ke ile ka ya Cuba mane ka ilo ba etela batjha bana. Ho na le batjha ba fihlang ho 3000 ba hlahang South Africa mona. Freistata ke yona e rometseng ba bangata ka hobane ba ikemiseditse hore bana bana ba rutwe bongaka ba khutle mona ba tle ba tlo le sebeletsa. E nthabisitse haholo nthe e hlalositsweng ke tonakgolo ya rona mona hore ka nnete mmuso wa Freistata ho tsena tsa bophelo ba ikemiseditse hore mathata a teng ka lefapheng la tsa bophelo ba tla rarolla ka nnete ka hobane ba rometse bana hore ba ilo ithutelwa bongaka o ilo hira manese le mo utlwile le lona a bua mona hore o na le di-CV tsa manese tse a tlo di nkang o ilo hira manese hore tsa bophelo ba lona di tswelle pele hantle. Ke a mo leboha Ntate Magashule ka tshepiso a e beileng mona. Re ikutlwetse ka ditsebe tsa rona ha diprovinsi tse ding di hlalosa hantle hore tsona di ntse di etsang ho ntho tsena tse ngata tse tlameileng hore di lokise mona South Africa. Province e nngwe le nngwe ile ya hlalosa ka botlalo hore bona ba ntse ba etsang na. Ka fumana hore ha o shebisisa hantle ka nnete diprovinsi tsa rona kaofela di ntse di sebetsa ka nnete ho etsa hore bophelo ba batho ba rona bo atlehe bo tswelle pele ka tsela e ANC ileng ya re e batla hore bo ye pele ka yona. Ka hobane mokgatlo ona wa setjhaba ANC ntho eo e ikemiseditseng yona ke a hore batho ba haheso ba be le bophelo bo betere, bophelo bo fetang bane re phela ka tlasa ha bona, ka tlasa kgatello ya maburu, ka tlasa kgatello ya apartheid. ANC ikemiseditse to improve the lives of our people, and it was quite pleasing to hear the provinces of our country relating the various steps that are being taken in all the provinces. MEC Zikalala outlined the steps that are being taken in KZN to make sure that we improve the lives of our people. Some of us who have had the privilege of traveling around and witnessing some of the programs that our province in KZN has embarked upon bear testimony to the great work that is being done in the province of KZN. They have embarked on a major project which is very inspirational called Sugumasake, which we have used in national government as a model of how we can improve the lives of our people. It has been effectively used particularly in an area that, as Deputy President, I'm closely involved in, which is how to fight HIV and AIDS. MEC Zikalala also spoke quite strongly about the issue of the land, that the land is most important and our people want the land to be brought back so that our people can be given the opportunity to work the land, and that land must be returned without any fail. We also had, am I running out of time? We also had
You are
what
permitted to-
Limpopo is doing in relation to the progress that we have achieved in Limpopo over the 20 years, how they've reduced maternal mortality, how they've been making strides on TB treatment, and that was most pleasing. Gauteng MEC Mashatile also outlined how they are dealing with the key challenges that our country faces in relation to the economy, and how Gauteng is being transformed into being the real economic hub that is going to benefit our people in a broader way. MEC Shongwe spoke most directly about the efforts that they are making to bring young people into farming, into working the land in line with the policy of our movement. MEC Maluleke also spoke about what we are doing in the Northwest Province. Now, Ubabu Kaula then spoke in a mourning way about a number of things which I found most disappointing, and Honorable Julius spoke in the most predictable way. I could have been sitting here with my ears closed. I would have known what he would have said. In the Northern Cape, we've made great progress as well, and we continue to make progress. And MEC Bote said we need to proclaim very loudly what we are doing. And indeed, this is where we are, Honorable Chair, that our country has made progress. We have made tremendous progress over the last 20 years. And it is this progress that we are very proud to speak about, because in the 20 years, we have indeed improved the lives of our people. Whether people like it or not, we have improved the lives of our people. South Africa has moved forward. The South Africa that we live in today, under the leadership of the African National Congress, is not the South Africa that we had prior to 1994. And if some members, indeed from the other parties, like the DA and other parties as well, do not believe it, if they do not believe it, all they need to do is to listen to the voices of our people, to the voices of those who continue to benefit from what the government of the Republic of South Africa is doing under the leadership of the ANC. That our old people get their pensions, that children in our country get social grants. We have built clinics, we have built hospitals, we have returned many of our young people into schools and universities, and the economy has created more than 8 million jobs since 1994. And the important thing is that this government is equal to the task of addressing some of the challenges that we are facing right now. And we will address those challenges. We will create jobs. We will improve the lives of our people without any fail.
Deputy President, there's a point of order. Mayor Mukwele, you are on your feet.
Puso ya gona nong Chair, e leng ka fa tlase ga Jacob Zuma, ga e dire sepe sepe
It's
for
not a
batho ba
point
rona.
of order. That's not a point of order. Please continue, sir.
The process of radically changing the economy of our country, the process of empowering our people, the process of returning the land.
Chair, a point of order, please.
Honorable Labuskaghni.
Chair, I raise in a point of order, Rule 45, as printed on the speaker's list. Insofar as time has not been allocated, time has been allocated to the Honorable Deputy President of 10 minutes. His time has expired.
Thank you very much, Honorable Labuskaghni. Order, members. Honorable members, you will remember that last year when we were closing the debate, that this matter also came up at Buffalo City when the President was concluding the debate, that the point of order was raised and that we actually did point out that, one, the presiding officers do have the discretion. Two, that in fact, there is an exception to that rule, and I'm sure the honorable member is aware of it. It is in the rules where no, Honorable Labuskaghni, I am speaking. It says that the president or the deputy president their time will not be limited. It then makes sense for us as presiding officers when we compile the lists to allocate times, because it gives us the estimate of where we are. However, we do then use our discretion to allow for a conclusion of a debate. Honorable members, I do this very regularly, especially about special delegates, MECs when they come from outside in the NCOP, to enable them to conclude their matters. Today I didn't do it because I cut several MECs. But we usually allow MECs to put, especially in matters which are of provincial interest, for them to conclude, because as presiding officers, we also have a discretion. Even if I did not have a discretion today, we set a precedence last year in Buffalo City when we allowed the president to conclude. Please conclude, Deputy President.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. As I conclude, I do want it to be very clear that the process of radically changing our country when it comes to the economy, when it comes to improving the lives of our people, will proceed without any fail. That is a mandate that we have as the African National Congress, and we are determined to proceed with it, whether people like it or not. That is going to continue. And it will manifest itself through a process of inclusivity, through a process of massification. We have reached a stage now where the urgency of our situation is so great that we need to massify the efforts that we will embark upon. So I'd like it to be known that the efforts, the interventions that we will embark upon will be huge, they will be massive, because we've got to redress the imbalances of the past, but also improve the lives of our people in a demonstrable way. This we commit ourselves to, and I'd like to thank the people of Botshabelo for being part of this debate and discussion, and also for having given us the information that we have gleaned in relation to their lives, in relation to the challenges that they face. But having had all this, the commitment from the government is that we are going to address them, as you heard our Premier saying, re tla khutla hape ka October, re tlo beya tlaleho ya hore ana dintho tsena tsene le di beya ditletlebo tsa lona re tla ba re di lokisitse jwang. Le mo utlwile hantle tonakgolo wa rona a ntse a bua mona. Re lebohile haholo ho ba ha lona mona. Tanki.
Deputy President, thank you for coming. Honorable members, order! Order! Honorable members, this concludes the business of today. Honorable members are requested to remain standing while the procession leaves the House. This House is adjourned.